Chapter 1. Skittle-farting fairies. I walked down the aisle with my dad, my eyes on the man whom I would soon call my husband. Sigh. Why is he so handsome? Take care of my princess, I heard Dad say, and I turned to look at him. His eyes got teary, but he still managed to smile. I will, sir, John Jungkook replied. Yeah, I am marrying John Jungkook. Huh. Take that, everyone. Do you, John Jungkook, take Krestel Winters to be your lawfully wedded wife? Cookie looked at me lovingly and said the following words I had been waiting for my whole life. Wake up. Hey, stop daydreaming about Jungkook and get up, or we'll be late. What? Why the heck is he yelling like that? He's supposed to say I do, not yell like an alarm clock. Thud. Ow. Opening my eyes, I looked around me to see the upside-down version of my room, with my brother shaking his head and muttering something. Oh, it was all a dream. Lucky the dream was mine. And no, I'm not giving you guys the description of my room because I am too sleepy. Next time, if you don't wake up, I'm seriously going to throw water balloons at your face, Nate said. I just groaned, too sleepy to defend my beautiful face. Now, come down for breakfast. I'm starving and Mom won't let anyone eat until we're all down, Nate said as he whacked me over the head and sauntered to the door, slamming it shut. Grumbling to myself, I went to brush my teeth. I checked my teeth, grinning widely at the mirror. Seemingly satisfied with the appearance of my teeth, I went to shower, scrubbing away all my drowsiness. I came out of the shower and went to the closet to grab my hoodie and jeans. Yeah, I know I'm not fashionable, but whatever. Deal with it. After making sure that I didn't look like a mess, I tied my hair in a ponytail and skipped down the stairs. Entering the kitchen, I saw the horrified faces of my brother and Dad as my mom served them the burned pancakes. It's obvious that Dad is the one who cooks in the house. Mom couldn't cook to save her life. She once tried to put hot water in cup noodles. To say the least, we had to eat all our meals at a restaurant for the whole week because the kitchen was burned down. Yeah, it's that bad. If only I could sneak out without getting noticed. Oh, Krestel, good that you came down. Wouldn't you like to taste the mouth-watering pancakes Mom made specially for our first day at the new school? Nate spoke too sweetly, but I could read his eyes. It said, Huh, why should I suffer alone? You'd better suffer with me. I could imagine him laughing evilly inside his head. Shaking my head, I glared at him. Just wait, Nate. I will get my revenge. It may take years, but I will get it. Watch your back. I was brought back from my thoughts by my mother, who placed the burned pancakes in front of me, making me cringe at the smell. I looked at my dad pleadingly, who shrugged helplessly as he took a bite of his pancake and cringed, which went unnoticed by my mom. They're great, sweetheart, Dad said while stabbing the pancakes. Absolutely delicious. But why don't I do the cooking tomorrow, honey? My mom smiled widely at the compliment before nodding and urging my brother and me to start eating. Nobody in the family had the heart to tell my mom that she couldn't cook. Come on, kids, hurry up and finish it. You have to get going if you don't want to be late, Mom sang. Sighing, I started eating the food while holding my breath. Hey, daughter. Mom smiled at me strangely. Oh, I know what's coming next. Yes, Mother. You should try dating some nice boys at school. I mean, you haven't had a boyfriend in your whole 16 years, and I'm starting to get worried. She sighed and put a hand on her forehead, giving me those eyes. Hearing the dating word coming from my mom made me want to throw up. Plus, what's wrong with staying single? Be single, don't mingle. That's my motto, by the way. But Mom dash. Oh no, you young lady. Don't you dare mommy me. Girls your age should be dating and exploring. Not sitting at home and watching TV with your dad like a hermit crab. Can a hermit crab watch TV? Whoa. I should watch more of the Discovery Channel. No. I don't think I'll allow my daughter to date until she's 40. Nah. That's too early, wait. How about 70? Yeah, perfect age. My princess is too young to date dash. One look from my mother shut my dad up. Thanks for trying to help me, Dad, but we all know who the boss of the house is. My brother and I snickered at my dad's scared face and snuck out to grab our bags. Come on, get in the car, kids. As we neared the school, I noticed that it was built near the woods. Who builds a school in the middle of the woods? Aren't they scared? Oh my God. What if a giant bear or something pops out? Wait, do hermit crabs live in the woods? Then I could observe someone watching a TV. But it'll be too much work. I'll ask Mom. Okay kids, behave well. I shouldn't be getting complaints about anything on your first day of school. Got it. My dad gave me a pointed look. Seriously, Dad, it was one time. Plus the class was boring, and the teacher was so annoying. Well, next time, refrain from shouting, "Oh my God." Oh my God. It's young Hosiak, in your math class when you get bored. Fine, and I do not sound like that, I said. Dad and Nate just laughed and high-fived. Okay now kids, get going, enjoy your first day. I'll come pick you both up. We got out of the car and waved to Dad as he drove off. Now facing the school building, my nerves kicked in. Okay now, little sis, if anyone gives you trouble, you come to me, got it? I'll save you. Nate karate chopped the air. I rolled my eyes and pushed him to get him to his building. As a junior, I had to go to a different building from my brother, who was a senior. I entered the school building and noticed the usual. The blue lockers lined up, the students roaming the halls, some of them gossiping, some of them with their heads stuck in lockers, and a boy with brown eyes staring intensely right at me. Wait, what? Back up. A boy? He had dark, black, windswept hair, a sharp jawline, and beautiful brown eyes staring straight at me. Wait a sec. Why the heck is he staring at me, you handsome boy? Never seen a girl before. Mate, he muttered. His eyes flashed black for a second, and then a shade of red before he closed them and tightened his fists. As if controlling himself. But controlling himself from what? Before I could think or walk any further, murmurs shot around the hallway. Some of them were completely absurd. Oh my God, she is the Luna. Oh my God, she's the Alpha's mate. The new student is the Luna. We have a human Luna? She looks like a little kid. Wait, what? Nah. She looks like a baby elephant. Again, what? Dude, you mean baby chimpanzee, right? Yeah, that. Whatever. This is insane. Whispers spread in the hallway, and the boy continued staring at me, opening his eyes once again, as if in some trance. I looked down at myself. I look like a baby elephant? Even better question. What's a mate? What's an alpha? What's a Luna? What is happening? Aren't they all supposed to be ignoring the new student? I wish I could be a freezing fairy. I could freeze all of them and then whistle past them. I seriously need to get a hold of my thoughts. I looked back at the boy who was still staring. So, being the awesome person I am, I stared back at him too, and then the whole freaking hallway stared at us. Thoughtfully, why are they staring? Doesn't anyone have classes? Chapter 2. The Mysterious, He and Strange People. Everyone hurried to their classes as soon as the bell rang, some of them still throwing suspicious glances at me. But the boy just stood there, still not moving and staring at me like I was some rare car. Strange guy, strange people, and definitely a strange school. Shaking my head to clear my strange thoughts, I made my way to the office to collect my schedule. As I passed the strange boy, I noticed him clenching his hands into tight fists from the corner of my eye, and he sniffed the air, relaxing slightly, before slowly turning towards me to speak. God, I need to run if I don't want to get caught by this strange, but handsome guy. I mean, he's even more attractive than Chris Hemsworth. Practically running to the office, I mentally prayed that the hot boy wouldn't catch up with me. Rushing towards my first class, I prayed that the teacher wouldn't give me detention. I mean, no one punishes a new student on her first day, right? Right? I calmed myself down before I entered the class and sighed in relief, noticing that the teacher had not yet arrived. I scanned the crowded classroom filled with hustling students to find an empty place. Hey Lewin, hey. You can sit here with me. An orange head spoke from where she was sitting on the third bench. Is she talking to me? I looked at her, and sure enough, she sat there waving wildly at me. I hesitantly approached her and sat down on the empty bench beside her. My name is Megan Romano, she said, pointing at herself. This is Ethan Brown, she said, pointing at the boy sitting behind her. He smiled at me warmly, and I returned the smile. And this is Samantha White. Megan pointed towards the girl sitting behind me. Hey, I am Samantha, but you can call me Sam. I can't believe you are here. I mean, I did see you coming way back, but I'm so happy that you finally came. I thought my cousin would end up single if you hadn't shown up. Sam was cut off from her confusing ranting by a nudge from Ethan, who was glaring at her. Their eyes glazed over as they seemed to be communicating with each other with their eyes. What does she mean she had seen me coming way before? Can this get any stranger? What was Sam talking about? I looked over to Megan, who was sitting beside me, for help, but she just smiled nervously at me and then sighed in relief when the teacher entered the class. Everyone open your biology textbook. We're going to learn about the human nervous system, which you teens obviously don't have. The teacher's voice faded away as Megan passed me a note. If you don't mind me asking, where did you come from? I took my pencil and wrote down my answer, making sure the teacher didn't notice. I came from LA. She read the note, looking confused, and then her eyes glazed over as if she was communicating with someone. Do they have some eye problems around here? Oh, LA. Must be fantastic. So why did you come to this town from LA? I hope I'm not prying too much. If you don't answer, I'll understand. I read the note and shrugged. I guess my parents just wanted a break from the LA life and to come somewhere peaceful. I passed the note down to her, after which her eyes glazed over again. Definitely an eye problem. After that, I returned my gaze towards the board, paying attention to the class. So, what's your next class? Megan asked. English. I looked around me to see that people had stopped staring at me like I was some new species. Oh, do you need any help finding your class? Nope, it's okay, I'll manage, I smiled at her. I can't believe I made a friend on the first day of school. Mom will be proud. I can't wait to tell her. Okay, but you have to come sit with us at lunch. English and math classes finished in the blink of an eye. Unfortunately, neither of my first friends was there with me in these classes. And let me tell you, it was boring. I entered the cafeteria, which was crowded with students. Pushing through the crowd, I found Megan sitting at the table beside the window with Sam and Ethan. Hey, how do you like this school so far? Megan asked while picking at her salad. It's cool. I like it. I replied and took out my lunch. I noticed an empty chair beside me. I wonder who sits there. Where is Lukas? Ethan asked. Sam giggled. He went to the woods to run because he couldn't control himself. And then after a while, Sam burst into full-blown laughter, slapping her thigh, tears emerging from her eyes. I scooted a little away from her as she continued laughing loudly. I swear I never saw him like that. I mean, he is immune to every girl, but wow. One look at her, and he's thrown out of control. Okay, now I'm like super confused. Like, what the heck is going on? And who is the mysterious he? And why is she looking at me while speaking of the mysterious he? Whom are you guys talking about? I asked while munching on the tasty sandwich, which my dad thankfully made. Oh, you'll know it all in good time, Lou. I mean, Krestel. I slapped Ethan's hand as he reached for my sandwich and glared at him. No one touches my food. Well, if it's Mom's cooked food, you can touch it as much as you want. I seriously won't mind. But then he gave me the puppy dog look, and I gave him half of my sandwich. I can make an exception for my new friends. Sigh. I know I'm such a kind-hearted soul. Yeah, you'll know everything in good time. You know what? You should spend more time with us, 'cause once you meet him again, he'll be all over you with affection all night. Sam sang while Megan and Ethan face-palmed. I just looked confused and as lost as an owl. After my physics and chemistry classes, I had a lifestyle learning class. Please don't ask me what it is. I don't even understand this school. As soon as I entered the class, my eyes locked with the same boy with brown eyes again. And again, he was staring at me, looking like he couldn't look away. Dude, didn't you eat your lunch? I ran towards where Megan was standing and stood behind her, hiding myself as much as possible, which was pretty easy because Megan is a good 5 feet 8 inches, and I'm 5 feet 4 inches. What's up with you? Megan asked when she noticed me hiding behind her. Nothing. I was just asking you what a lifestyle learning class is. I mean, I never heard of it. I was trying my best to ignore the burning stare coming from the direction of the handsome boy. She opened her mouth to reply, but closed it once the teacher entered the room. Okay, students, everyone get back to your seats. Everyone rushed to their places when the teacher glared at them. Welcome to the Lifestyle Learning class. I'm Mr. Franklin, your teacher for the year. And I have a fabulous assignment for you this year. The baby project. Groans of displeasure were heard from students as they heard Mr. Franklin announce it. What's a baby project? Okay, everyone calm down. I will be choosing your partners for the project and I expect you all to behave. Students tried to protest, but were cut off once Mr. Franklin glared at them. He started speaking names, and my ears perked up when he said my name. Krestel Winters N. He stopped speaking as his eyes glazed over, and after a while, he continued, looking confused. Again with the I thing. Krestel Winters and Lukas Romano. Chapter 3. Nate's flirting went wrong. The name struck me once Mr. Franklin finished announcing the names. It's the name of the mysterious guy Megan, Sam, and Ethan we're talking about. Megan laughed silently beside me and shook her head, eyes glazed. But this time, there's a change. You all will be handed real babies instead of the plastic ones. The babies are from the orphanage of the pack, and you all have to take care of them as real parents. The project will take 1 month, and for that, you all have to live together at the resort. The project will start from tomorrow, so pack your bags for 1 month. And then, Mr. Franklin left the class of stunned students. Real babies? Resort? What the hell? I need to tell Dad to change my school ASAP. I love babies. They're the cutest thing ever, but giving us real babies to handle for a project? That's a different story. What the hell is wrong with this school? Man, it's gonna be tiring, Megan mumbled beside me. I agree. Hey Megan. Where's this resort that Mr. Franklin was talking about? I asked her. Oh, it's built deep inside the jungle. We all go there for the school's annual day, but it's for the project this time, she hummed. Whoa, deep inside the woods? I got goosebumps just thinking about the creatures lurking there. Don't worry, girl, it's safe as long as you stay inside the resort. Well, it would be safe outside too, but knowing Lukas, he won't allow you to get out of his sight. Sam suddenly popped out of nowhere, with Ethan behind her. Hey, that's my partner's name. Can you point him out for me? I don't know him. I wanted to know the father of my baby. Fake baby, you mean? No, you stupid inner voice. Didn't you hear Mr. Franklin say we will be handed real babies? I did not mean it like that, you idiot. And who are you calling stupid? If I'm silly, so are you. Why, you little pig. I was cut off in my battle with my inner self by Megan pointing towards an empty bench. Right, of course, he is right there, wait. Where did he go? Megan, too. Notice the now empty bench. Ugh, he was the one to tell Mr. Franklin to pair Krestel with him, and now he disappeared again. What's wrong with him? Megan scowled. But I never noticed that someone told Mr. Franklin to partner up with me. And why the heck would this guy want to be partnered up with me? Am I mommy material? I shook my head to clear my thoughts. I need to go to the doctor. I'm talking to myself. Sam giggled. This is fun. The alpha got out of control twice this week since the Luna arrived. And I think he came to this class just to tell Mr. Franklin to make Krestel the mother of their child. Bruh. I am not becoming anyone's mom. I was going to give Sam a lecture, but Mr. Franklin came into class grinning. Man, that looks like the evil grin of the prince from Frozen. So students, before handing you all the babies, let us learn how to be responsible parents, shall we? He was picking up the fat book that he brought with him. Groans of students were heard as Mr. Franklin started his unbearable lecture. I looked out of the window, losing interest in Mr. Franklin's lecture as he began discussing how to change kids' diapers. I squinted my eyes when I saw something shiny, like a shiny object, shifting in the woods. Oh my God. Something colored black just moved in the forest. Is it a bear? By now, I had plastered my face to the window to get a view of the forest. The hair at the back of my neck stood up as a dark, midnight-colored giant wolf emerged from behind the trees. It had golden, beautiful eyes. And it was as if it was staring right at me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's a wolf in the forest. I repeat, a giant wolf. Miss Winters? Are you okay? Mr. Franklin asked from where he was standing behind the desk. I removed my face from the window and turned to him. Why yes, Mr. Franklin. I am perfectly fine. as fine as one can get just after witnessing a giant wolf staring at you. He nodded, his gaze uncertain as he looked at my pale face and continued teaching something about a formula. What the heck is a baby formula? Weren't the formulas of physics, chemistry, and math enough that we even have baby formulas now? I turned my head to Megan, who looked at me in concern, asking if I was okay. I just nodded my head, not trusting my voice, and smiled weakly at her. As soon as she turned toward the board, I looked out of the window again to see that the giant wolf had just disappeared. I sighed in relief just as the bell rang, and everyone rushed out of the class. What happened to you so suddenly, Kres? Megan came to stand in front of me. Should I tell her? But who would believe that there was a wolf as giant as a mammoth roaming near the school? I think it was just my imagination. It was nothing. You know, just a passing sneeze, I nervously laughed. Megan looked at me weirdly but nodded her head, getting out of the classroom. I followed her, not wanting to get lost. This school campus was huge, and I have zero sense of direction. I even think that the band One Direction got separated because of me. So, is anyone gonna pick you up? 'Cause if not, then I can drive you home, Megan offered. I shook my head. My dad is picking me and my brother up. Oh, okay then. Bye. I will see you tomorrow. I can't wait to get a baby tomorrow morning. I halted on my way. What? We get the baby tomorrow? Duh. What were you listening to in Mr. Franklin's class? He said that for 1 week, we get to keep the baby at our homes. I was busy watching that darn forest and the scary wolf. Of course, I didn't say that out loud. I waved at her as she made her way in the opposite direction. I stood under a tree, waiting for my brother, and again glanced at the huge canopy that surrounded the woods, shivering at the thought of that giant wolf. I shook my head to shake off the scary scene. Think of something positive. Well then, I can't wait to become a mom tomorrow. It's only for 1 month, you nuisance. Shut up, you inner voice. I will consider the baby as mine even if it's for the project. I mean, babies are so cute. My inner voice just rolled her eyes. Did Dad arrive? I turned around to face my brother and gasped. You got into a fight on the first day of school? I asked when I noticed his black eye. He groaned, God no. I got punched by this girl when I tried my pickup lines. I burst out laughing. Seriously, Nate? Don't tell me you tried the pickup lines that Dad taught you behind Mom's back when Mom told you strictly not to. I wiped the tears from my eyes that emerged from laughing out so loudly. Bloody hell no. I would never. Nate shivered. As good as Dad's cooking was, the same could not be said for teaching Nate how to flirt. And it seems that Nate inherited his quality. I mean, Dad got kicked by Mom in high school when he hit on her. I shook my head at Nate, giggling lightly, and glanced at the school parking lot to see Dad's car arrive. We walked toward the car. How was your day? What happened to your face, Nate? Dad looked shocked after seeing his face. I burst out laughing again and sat in the back while Nate took the front seat. He got punched by a girl when he tried to flirt with her. I answered Dad. Nate glared at me. Dad shook his head. I'm disappointed in you, son. You got punched by a girl just because of flirting. Says the one who got himself kicked by Mom for flirting with her in their high school days. But don't worry, son. I will help you brush up your flirting skills. I snickered in the back seat of the car. Nate just groaned. Chapter 4, Poke. To say the least, Mom wasn't ecstatic on seeing Nate's black eye, but she got over it once she found out the reason behind the change in color of her son's eye. I went to my room and closed the door. Keeping my bag on the desk, I changed into my Doraemon pajamas. Don't judge me, peeps. They are cute. Okay. Who doesn't watch Doraemon? It's the best cartoon ever. I flopped on top of my bed, debating what I should do today. What should I do now? Homework? Nah. Going for a walk in the neighborhood? Yeah. Mom, I am going for a walk outside. I grabbed my sweater and quickly pulled it over my head. It was cold today. Okay, darling, be back before dinner. Your father is making something special. Yes, Mom, we'll be here before dinner. I saluted my mom, who was still looking at Nate, who was sitting with an ice pack on his eye. My mom would glance at him, remember the reason why he got punched, and then she would burst out in a fit of giggles. I snickered with her while wearing my shoes, earning a glare from my brother. Closing the door of the house, I breathed in the fresh air outside. It really was different from life in LA. I looked at my surroundings. Dense forest surrounded the whole town. The forest seemed so alive, and the sound of chirping birds was so pleasant. Though it's not as pleasant in the morning when I have to wake up early. I should take a walk in the woods. You know, be adventurous and all that. Mom always says I should be more adventurous. I mean, I won't get lost, right? It would be just like eating a piece of cake. After 5 minutes, I am lost. Completely and utterly lost. I'm gonna cry. And I think I'm seeing this same tree for the 4th time. All trees look the same, you nincompoop. Oh, finally, you graced me with your presence, you fool. And who are you calling a nincompoop? I was cut off from my conversation with my inner voice by a loud, thundering growl, which echoed in the whole forest. I slowly turned around, as slowly as a turtle, dreading to see what was behind me. Oh my God, it's the wolf. The same wolf, the size of a gorilla. It stood there, its eyes staring at me, flashing gold and black. He was even huge up this close. My face went deathly pale, and my hands began shivering. I curled them into fists to stop them from shaking and looked around for something that could save me. Oh my goodness. I should never have come here. I found a stick lying on the ground and picked it up, pointing it directly at the wolf, who was now stalking closer to me. Don't come near me, why you gorilla-sized wolf. It looked at me in the eyes like I was the most amusing person in the world. His expressions are very much human. Now I am surely going insane. I jerked the stick in front of me in a threatening manner. Hey, what? Don't laugh at me, you W wolf. It snorted. It snorted. That too in a laughing manner. I am talking to an animal. I need help. The wolf kept its eyes on me and again stalked closer. I looked to my right and then left, looking for an escape, but there was none. The wolf neared me slowly, and I closed my eyes. I am gonna die. I love you, Mom. I am sorry, but it was I who destroyed your favorite flowers and blamed it on the neighbor's dog. I am sorry, Dad, it was me who added that extra chili sauce in the curry and blamed it on Nate. I am sorry, Nate, but it was I who ate all your favorite chocolate chip ice cream. I popped open one eye to see the wolf now standing in front of me, looking intensely at the wound on my knees. He brought his muzzle closer to my knees and then licked them. He is tasting me. Please, God. Please, let my taste be horrible to him. I jumped in the air when his tongue made contact with my bloody knees, and it growled, looking up at me from licking my wound, his eyes sharp and stern, as if telling me to stay in one place. His licking surprisingly soothed the burning sensation of my wound, and I could feel sparks running down my body, causing me to shiver involuntarily. What's happening? Seemingly satisfied with licking my wound, the giant wolf stepped back. Now that he was no longer bent, and his head was proudly raised, I noticed that he was even taller than I. After taking 2 to 3 steps back, while still looking at me, he turned his head and began stalking in a particular direction. His black fur shone under the sun. He seriously didn't like my taste? He turned to look back at me. No, dude, I am not complaining. Go. Go. Don't stop. I am sure you will find something tastier than I to eat. But he jerked his head in the direction he was going as if telling me to follow him. Should I go behind him? Well, it has only helped me so far, and knowing me, I won't be able to find my way back home. And so, I decided to follow him. He seemed to be an intelligent animal. He carried himself proudly, not afraid of anything. We walked, and guess what? Walked. And I got bored. I picked up a stick and poked the wolf. It jerked its head at me and glared. I grinned at him. Poke. 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 It growled at me, and I dropped the stick, raising my hands up. Okay, no poking. It looked at me, shook its head, and stalked ahead again. Even the wolf thinks you are a nincompoop. Hey there. You stupid inner voice. Where were you when I was in need? I was busy enjoying. You are annoying. Don't talk to me. After that, I kept my mouth shut, glaring at the wolf's back, but still silently following him. The forest thinned, the large canopies disappearing, and small bushes, trees, and shrubs making their appearance. Yes! I could see my neighborhood from where I was standing. I turned to the wolf, still excited, and ran over to him. I hugged him. His soft black fur felt like silk against my fingers. I felt sparks running down my body. Thank you, Wolfie. Though I am angry that you practically tasted me and didn't like my taste. But you know what? You should be honored that you are the first animal friend that I made. I joked. Chapter 5, Becoming a Mommy. I didn't say anything about what had happened in the forest to my parents. I mean, what would I say? Hey Mom and Dad, I went for a walk around town and ended up getting lost in the forest. And guess what? A big black wolf with a very human-like brain and expression helped me come home. And I even made him my animal friend. Yeah. No. Mom would go ballistic, and don't even get me started on Dad. As for Nate, he might wonder why I was not that wolf's dinner. I entered my house, tiptoeing towards my room. I glanced left and right to see if there was any sign of danger, aka my parents, and when there was none, I got inside my room and shut the door, sighing in relief when no one noticed me. No one noticed I came home, so no questions asked. I turned back, facing my room, and shrieked. Nate, you scared me. What the heck are you doing here? Nate was sitting on my desk chair, eating chocolate chip ice cream from the tub. He licked the spoon clean and kept the ice cream tub on my table, looking at me suspiciously, and I instantly knew that his detective mode was on. Where were you? He asked while narrowing his eyes. I laughed nervously. I went out for a walk. Why are you asking? First of all, you sneaked into the house like a spy. Second of all, you look nervous. And third of all, you do all of the above when you are preventing yourself from getting caught by either Mom or Dad, Nate spoke, rubbing his chin while circling me. I tensed. Kres. Nate. Come down for dinner. Mom's voice reached us and I sighed in relief, dashing downstairs to the source of the delicious smell. Thanks, Mom. You saved me from your detective of a son. Hey. I am not done interrogating you yet. Come back here. Nate hollered. Sorry, bro. I am not keen on you trying your detective skills on me. We reached downstairs, and thankfully, Nate seemed to forget everything about my spy moves after smelling Dad's amazing dish. I sat at the dining table and looked at the dish from which the heavenly smell was coming. We dug in while Nate and I told Mom and Dad about our day. I am going to become a mom tomorrow. Dad spat out the water he was drinking, spraying it all over the table. Nate's mouth gaped open as he dropped the spoon, which made a clanking sound as it hit the plate. Mom just stared at me wide-eyed. Did I say something wrong? Krestel Awesome Winters, I told you to get a boyfriend, not get pregnant. Mom looked horrified. Who is the boy? Who is the boy who did that? Who? Dad got up from his chair and looked around him, his hands in a karate stance. What? What boy? Oh. I burst out laughing and wiped tears from my eyes. Seriously, guys? That's not what I meant. We are given a baby project in class, for which we will be handed real babies. They all sighed in relief. Dad slowly sat down, relaxing. Oh, that's great, honey. Handing you all bratty children, real babies will be a good lesson. I only know how I managed you both when you were babies. I had so many sleepless nights while your father just snored and would wake you up. Mom glared at Dad. Dad coughed, but didn't dare look up at Mom, who was glaring at him. Nate and I laughed. Yes, and for a week, the baby will be with us, after which, we all students have to go to this resort whose name I don't know, where we will be living with our partners and baby for a month, I said, looking at Mom, who finally released Dad from his punishment. What? A month? Isn't that like too much? Dad had always been protective of me, while my mom was the cool parent. Oh, honey, let her learn new things and grow up, Mom said to Dad. He just grumbled out his dissatisfaction. Hey, even we seniors are going to this resort named El Romano's next week for annual games, so that means we will be in it together, Kres. Yay! Romano? Megan Romano and Lukas Romano. They're siblings. And the resort is El Romano. Why didn't I notice it before? There's a girl named Megan Romano who became my friend, and Lukas Romano is my partner for the project. Are they like the owners or something? I asked while standing up as we all finished eating, taking the plates to the kitchen and placing them inside the dishwasher, as it was my duty to do the dishes today, while Mom and Dad retired to their room, wishing us good night. They were probably tired from today's work. Nate followed me. Yeah, Lukas Romano is the rightful owner. He is the CEO of the Romano Industries. But it's strange that the biggest company CEO, with branches all over the world, is living in Maine, the place surrounded by forest. He handles the company from here, occasionally flying there for meetings. He is also still very young, making him the youngest CEO. Nate spoke while opening the fridge to take out the leftover dessert and wafting it down while sitting on the counter. I swear, all he does is eat every second. I took out the dishes from the dishwasher and began placing them in the cupboard. Well, maybe his parents might be handling the business? I say to Nate. Well, yeah, could be. Nate shrugged. So how did you know about all this? I raised my eyebrow, waving my hands in the air. Well, little sis, there's nothing that can skip my detective-like eyes, including the fact that you went to the forest without Mom and Dad's permission, and knowing you probably got lost. What I don't understand is how did you manage finding your way back? Nate eyed me suspiciously. What the heck? Nate should get a job in the CIA. Oh, would you look at the time? It's getting late. We should probably sleep now. You know we have a long day ahead. Saying that, I dashed towards my room and locked the door behind me. You Krestel Winters. I will know the full truth tomorrow. Be ready. Nate spoke through the door, and then stomping noises were heard, followed by a soft click, indicating that he had retired to his room. I looked tiredly at my bed. My baby, I missed you. Spreading my arms on the bed, I jumped on it, snuggling into my Doryman blanket, and then I was out like a light. The next morning, we arrived at school 15 minutes early because Dad had to go somewhere, so he dropped us off early. I parted ways with Nate as I made my way to the school building. I was searching for Megan, Sam, and Ethan after reaching my locker when I saw something crawling on the floor. It's a baby. Who left the baby alone? The classes hadn't started, and the babies hadn't been handed to us, so what was this little munchkin doing here? I was going to go towards the baby, but a crowd of students passed by the crawling baby, not noticing him, and stepped on the baby's hand. I rushed past people to the teary-eyed baby. Poor baby. I picked him up in my arms and began rocking him. Shh, baby, it's okay now. I'm here, don't cry, sweetheart. Let's take you to the nurse and get your hand treated. The baby looked up at me from my arms and reached out his injured hand to me with tears in his big blue eyes. I kissed his injured hand and then his forehead gently and brought him closer to me. He gripped my shirt tightly, seemingly not wanting to let go of me. Don't worry, baby, I won't let go. He slept in my arms while I made my way to the nurse's room to get his hand treated. Oh my God, what happened to him? The nurse tried to take him away from me to treat his hand, but he woke up. He wailed and cried out loudly, reaching out for me. Well, it looks like he got attached to you, the nurse said while bringing out some antiseptic to treat his hand. I smiled down at the baby in my arms, who was gurgling at me, babbling something while moving his hands in front of my face, as if scolding me for handing him to the nurse. I chuckled and kissed his chubby cheeks. I am so sorry, baby. He got his hand treated while still sitting on my lap. I carried him as the bell rang, getting outside the nurse's office when two big arms sneaked around my waist, sending familiar sparks through my body, making me squeal in surprise. Hey there, my beautiful wife. I see you got our little munchkin. A husky voice whispered in my ear. What the actual heck? Chapter 6. Your wife? No thanks. Wife? What wife? More importantly, whose wife? Hey, leave me. I am no one's wife. I wiggled in the stranger's arms to loosen his grip on me. I felt similar sparks run through my body, making me shiver involuntarily. I had felt these sparks somewhere, but where? He just pulled me closer, resulting in my back being pressed against his hard chest. Who does he think he is? Just let me turn around, and I will show you what I've got. Did you forget, darling? You are my wife and the mother of our little son here. Don't tell me, are you cheating on me? I am hurt, sweetheart. His grip loosened on me. I took advantage of his loosened grip and abruptly turned around, still in his arms. What are you talking about? I would never cheat on anybody, and FYI, I am not your wife. I was cut off when I saw with whom I had come face to face with, or rather face to chest with. He's so tall. Dude, what did your mother feed you in your childhood? I craned my neck up to look at his face. It's the same brown-eyed boy. Stop teasing her, Lucas. Megan came from behind him and smiled at me. This guy named Lucas ignored her and just stared at me. Sam and Ethan just stood by the lockers, watching us amusedly. I think the only thing missing for them is a bucket of popcorn. Wait a second, did she just say Lucas? As in my partner. The father of your fake baby? I realized that I was still in his arms and tried to get away from him. Hey, leave me. I struggled in his arms, putting one hand on his chest and trying to push him, while the other was still holding the baby. But did I succeed? You have two options. 1, no. And guess what? 2, a big no. I swear he's made up of metal or something. Now, why would I do that when I've just got you? He pulled me even closer. I glared at him. I said, leave me. I think the baby in my arms got bored with our banter and decided to help me. He cried loudly and began kicking his feet in random directions. Lucas reluctantly had to let go of me. He sighed. Seriously, son? You had to interrupt my time with your mom and my wife. I pulled away from him as soon as he let go, jumping back about 3 feet. I should be an Olympic long jump champion. For the last time, I am not anyone's mom or wife. He just smirked. The nerve of him. Oh, thank God. There you are. Mr. Franklin rushed towards us. I swear, he manages to get out of the nursery to roam around the campus every single time. He shook his head and looked at the baby in my arms. He tried to take the baby from me, but the baby started to kick again, and accidentally, it hit Mr. Franklin's hair, and I was surprised when his wig flew away. Oh my God. We all stood there in shock as Mr. Franklin's face went pale. The baby in my arms looked at me, blinking innocently, while I tried not to laugh out loud. And let me tell you, it was challenging. The wig, which had been kicked away, landed on the ice cream cone of a student who was eating it. To say the least, the kid looked scared for life. Poor kid, I don't think he would ever look at ice cream the same way again. But hey, is eating ice cream in school even allowed? I'm sure Nate would be ecstatic. The bell rang at the exact moment, and Mr. Franklin rushed down the hall, disappearing into the left corner. We all looked at each other and burst out in uncontrollable laughter. My eyes landed on Lucas, who was staring at me with a smile on his lips. Damn. Those lips. How would his lips feel, AG? Snap out of it, you teenager. I imagined myself glaring at my inner voice and shook my head to clear my head. I noticed he was still staring at me, and my laughter toned down. I nervously chuckled and shifted the baby in my arms. Here, let me carry him. Lucas came in front of me and took the baby from my arms. Shockingly, the baby didn't create a fuss and went to him willingly. I'll drop him off at the nursery. He spoke. I just nodded, feeling sad that the baby had to go. I kissed his forehead and he gurgled, reaching for me. Baby boy, I will meet you soon, okay, darling? He pouted. I giggled. He is so cute. Come on, let's go. We will get late. Megan pulled me to my next class. On reaching the class, the teacher didn't give us detention, though we were late. The teachers were really cool in this school. Why didn't Lucas come to class? I asked Megan after the class, and I noticed that Lucas had not arrived. Oh, he is a senior. Why would he come in our class? What? Is he a senior? Then why would he be my partner in the baby project? As if she had read my mind, she laughed. Do you seriously think Lucas would let anyone else be your partner for the baby project, or for anything else for that matter? I am confused. But he is a senior, right? Is that allowed? And why does he want to become my partner? I shrieked. I want to pull my hair. Please, see that it does not come out like Mr. Franklin's wig. I like my image with my hair still on my head. I wholly agreed with my inner voice for the first time. I imagined myself without my hair on my head and cringed at the image. Well, you need to ask him for that, Megan said with a suspicious smile. Yeah, right. As if I would do that. Chapter 7. Supernatural stuff is just fictional. It peed on my face. Kres. It bloody peed on me. My beautiful face. Take the baby far, far away from me. Nate shrieked like a girl and kept Aaron at an arm's length away from him with his eyes still closed and face scrunched up. Aaron had peed on Nate's face. You have a very good aim, Aaron. I took his little body away from Nate to change his diaper, while Nate scowled at me and rushed to the bathroom. We had our babies during class today, and guess what? I found the same baby crawling on the floor this morning. Apparently, when Aaron saw me in class, where Mr. Franklin had brought all the babies, he flung his arms towards me as if demanding that I become his mom. Mr. Franklin handed him over to me, keeping him as far away as he could from his wig. I am really proud of him. First with Mr. Franklin's wig, and then peeing on Nate. He sure is a super baby. In class, after the teacher had handed us the babies, I had to sit with Lukas as little Aaron wanted to sit with both of us together, and that was not the problem. No, not at all. The real problem was that when Mr. Franklin turned around and started to teach about how to take care of babies again, Lukas wouldn't leave me alone. He kept whispering things to me. And let me tell you, they were not at all appropriate. His words were causing me to turn red in the face. And let me tell you, I do not blush easily. I had asked Megan to help me get away from Lukas, to which she laughed, but decided to help me anyway. I was so glad that the class was over. I rushed out of the class with Aaron and outside, where Dad's car was waiting with Nate already inside it. At the same time, Megan kept his brother distracted with something. Thanks, Megan, I owe you. I don't even know how I will be able to live with him in the resort for a whole month. Just thinking about it made me worry. I mean, I have never been alone with a boy in the same room except for Nate and my dad, so sharing the same room was really a big deal for me. I massaged my head to ease the worry. I still had 1 week to get used to the idea of staying in the same room with him. Thinking about it from now on is of no use. So I decided to forget it and left it for the future me to handle. I know I am smart. Note the sarcasm. I finished changing Aaron's diaper and carried him to sleep as he yawned adorably. He must be tired after playing with me so much. No, he is sleepy because he got bored watching Doraemon with you. Hey, mind your own business, you inner voice. Aaron didn't get bored watching Doraemon with me. He just got tired of playing and went to sleep. Yeah, whatever floats your boat. And this is my business. I am you and you're me. Rolling my eyes at my stupid inner voice, I went to place Aaron in the crib, where he slept with his favorite Doraemon toy that I gave him. I swear he never leaves it alone. I think he is taking after me. I love him already. He looks so adorable while sleeping. Not that he doesn't look so when he is awake, but sleeping adds to his cuteness. I snapped a picture of him cuddling with the Doraemon toy and set it as my home screen. Satisfied with the result, I kept the phone in my pocket and went over to my window, which had a clear view of the forest. Seeing the forest reminded me of the black, giant, majestic wolf. I remember now. I had felt the same sparks with Lukas today, the same that I had felt with the wolf. They even had the same eye color, brown, which flashed black and gold. What was up with the similarities? Was it possible that Lukas and the wolf? I shook my head to get rid of those ridiculous thoughts. I seriously should stop reading all that supernatural stuff. It's just fictional, after all. What were the chances of him being a werewolf or something like that? Chapter 8. My night in shining jeans and t-shirt. The next day I woke up late, and guess why? No, it's not because of Aaron. He slept peacefully without crying the whole night. He is such an awesome baby. It's because of that annoying supernatural theory of mine. Me, God. You stupid brain, forget about it already. My brain, no. Dude, trust me, I smell something wolfy. Just do as I say today and observe that male species of hotness, aka Lukas. Me, fine. But if we don't get any proof or something, then you have to give up, okay? My brain, deal. Now, don't just waste your time standing there. Get moving, you're getting late. Right. I went to the bathroom to brush my teeth and take a bath. Rushing outside, I threw on the first thing that came to hand. It was a rainbow frock that my mom bought for me. I threw a cardigan over it because of the cold weather. It's pretty. Why didn't I notice this before? Because you were too busy with a hoodie and jeans. Oh, good morning, you inner voice. How are you today? I am good, but you won't be if you keep standing there and having mental conversations with me. Get your butt moving. Oh yes, I am late. I checked on Aaron to see if he was still sleeping soundly. I will feed him once he wakes up. I rushed downstairs, skipping one step at a time, and almost tripped. I entered the dining room to see that Dad was still making breakfast, and Mom and Nate were gossiping about some new fashion trends. Wait, so I am not late? But the clock on my wall. I looked at Nate. He looked up, blinking innocently at me. What happened, sis? Why are you in such a hurry? Did you think that you were late or something? You piece of rotten cranberry. You changed the time in my room. I balled my hands into fists and threw them at him. He easily dodged it and hid behind Mom's back. Kids, no fighting. And Nate, stop hiding behind my back and face it like a man. And Krestel, stop scaring your brother. But Mom. He started it. I whined. Yes, I know, and for that, he is grounded for a week. Nate looked horrified. I felt satisfied and sat in the chair for breakfast. Dad had made the tastiest pancakes, which I devoured till the last bite. After finishing my breakfast, I took Aaron's milk bottle, filling it with milk of the appropriate temperature. I hope he has woken up. I entered my room, and that's the exact time he started crying. I rushed to him and carried him, rocking him so that he stopped crying. He stopped crying once he looked at me and started gurgling and babbling something in his own language. I chuckled. Let's get your stomach filled. I took him downstairs to feed him. After he drank the milk from the bottle, I showered him and dressed him in a cute rainbow outfit. Yay! Aaron, look, we match. I sometimes doubt your age. Shut up, inner voice. After I finished dressing him up, I went downstairs. Nate pulled up the car in the school parking lot, and I waved at him as he disappeared into his building. Brain, don't forget the plan. I nodded to myself. We were told to keep the babies in the nursery during school hours, so I proceeded to drop him off at the nursery. Bye-bye, Aaron. I will come to pick you up after school is over, okay? Be good for temporary mama. I kissed his forehead and smiled at the lady, Cheryl, who was in charge of the nursery. Exiting the nursery, I made my way to the school building. Why are all the buildings so far away? Couldn't they keep it close? I really hate walking. Lazy butt. I was about to give my inner voice a powerful comeback when I was pulled back into a hard, familiar chest, erupting sparks from my toes, all the way to the tip of my hair. Brain, clue number 1. Same familiar sparks. Good morning, Krestel. You look beautiful. You should wear them often. I like you in that dress, a deep husky voice spoke in my ear, sending chills through my body. I jumped away from him and turned to face him, looking into his chocolate brown, beautiful eyes. Brain, clue number 2. Same color eyes. What are you doing, Lukas? I shrieked. Why? I was just greeting my beautiful wife. Is that a crime now? I rolled my eyes, tired of him calling me his bloody wife. Yo guys. What's up? Sam skipped toward where Lukas and I were standing, with Megan and Ethan trailing behind her. I smiled at them. Sam was always very lively. Not that I am complaining. Megan came and stood beside me while Ethan and Lukas began to talk about something seriously. They walked ahead of us, while Megan, Sam, and I walked behind them. I kept my eyes on Lukas's backside. I thought wolves had tails. Brain, the tail doesn't come in his human form, Krestel. Oh. Lukas abruptly stopped, making me crash into his back. Sorry, I stuttered. He gave me a concussion. Why are you walking behind me, Krestel? Lukas looked at me and smirked. I looked around to see that Megan, Sam, and even Ethan had disappeared. Shiznits. I just realized I was staring at his back. I started, but I wasn't sure what to say. The bell rang as soon as Lukas opened his mouth to say something, and I rushed toward my classroom. His hands shot out and stopped me, pulling me to him, preventing me from slipping away. Don't run away, darling. There's nothing more I like than a good chase. But as you are getting late for class, I will let you go. See you at lunch, my sweet. He kissed my forehead and walked away. I stood frozen, watching his retreat like a broken lamp. Brain, clue number 3. Wolves like chases too. He turned to me again and winked. I flushed deep red and made a run to my first class. Time flew by, and I exited my 3rd class of the day and made my way to lunch. As I was walking through the hallway, I was abruptly pulled by a hand and into a dark, empty classroom. What is it with people pulling me? I was going to scream, but a hand was put over my mouth. And it was dark, so I couldn't even see anyone's face. Suddenly, light washed over the room, and I had to blink several times before letting my eyes adjust to the lights. I came face to face with a girl with pink hair who was wearing a pink skirt that could even fit Aaron. Not that I will ever make him wear that thing. She was sneering at me. Dude, what did I do to you? I should call her PSG, short for Pink Sparkly Girl. Listen here, stay away from Lukas. He is mine. We don't want a human Luna like you. Oh, now I see, it's a member of Lukas's fangirl squad. Yay me. And what does she mean by human? You're human too, you crazy lady. Look, I've no interest in Lukas. I swear. You can have him if you want. I waved my hand and began walking out of the class. But she pulled my hand and slammed me against the wall. Oh wow. Dude, that hurt. I am against violence, but one more wrong move, and you will find yourself under the River Thames tonight. Oh, cut the crap, you. I saw you checking out his ass today in the hallway. WDF. I was not looking at his rear. I was checking if he had a tail or not, you rotten egg. I sighed. She won't listen to me. I should try a different tactic on her. You know what? Repeat after me. She looked confused, but then slowly nodded her head. Okay, so say these 4 words 4 times, very fast. It's kind of a tongue twister. Yam. Stew. Peed. I spoke the words slowly so she could catch up. She started repeating the words fast, and finally, on the 3rd time, she caught up, and her face turned red in anger. I could even see smoke coming out of her ears. Too bad for her that I was already at the classroom door and ready to sprint out. But she caught my arm and threw a punch at me. Oh, girl, that's a very wrong move now. I caught her fist and turned it behind her while kicking her in the process. I had learned judo and karate at my old school, and let me tell ya, I can kick ass. She was stronger than I thought and broke free from me, throwing away my hand. Man, I think she broke my hand. What is she made of? She turned around and was about to punch me when she was stopped by a loud thundering growl, making her freeze. Did someone leave their dog over here? I turned around and saw Lukas stalking towards us, where our catfight was taking place. My knight in shining jeans and t-shirt. Brain, clue number 4, same growl. He reached us and pulled me towards him, growling at PSG as if trying to burn her alive. Get out. Now. And man, did she run away. Lukas pulled me against him and hugged me tightly, causing my face to be smashed against his chest. He buried his head in my neck and took deep breaths. He is practically shaking. I tilted my head to the side, allowing my lungs to breathe. His hugs were too damn tight. I saw Sam, Megan, and Ethan rush into the classroom. Oh my God. Are you okay? Sam asked me while Megan and Ethan looked at me in concern. Wes, of course, you want to check. What I meant to say was, yes, of course, I am okay, but because of Lukas's tight grip on me and my head smashed to his chest, it sounded like that. Brain, clue number 5, strength. Lukas. No reply. Lukas, I whined out. Still no reply. The bell had rung and lunch was over, but I was still tightly wrapped in Lukas's arms. Sam, Ethan, and Megan had left, saying something about him wanting alone time with me. Traitors. I sighed and poked him. No reaction. He just stood there with his head buried in my neck, not even flinching at my constant poking. After a while, his breathing evened, and he looked up, his eyes pitch black with a hint of gold swirling in them. He kept staring at me, his eyes trailing over my face. Lukas, the class started, we need to go. His eyes stopped at my lips. He stared at them and then, as if in some trance, slowly leaned in. What the heck is he doing? I panicked and did the first thing that came to my mind. I stomped on his expensive shoes. That seemed to have brought him to Earth from the planet of blah blah blah, where he was dreaming. His grip loosened on me, and I took the opportunity to pull myself away from him. His eyes flashed pitch black as he saw me retreating and clenched his jaw. I blinked, and at that instant, he stormed out of the room. Brain, clue number 6, speed. You got 6 bloody clues. Do you believe in my supernatural theory now? Me, well. Chapter 9. Nate, the punching bag. You can't do that, it's not fair. I narrowed my eyes at him. What's not fair is that you ran away from me yesterday, and as compensation, either you come with me or I take Aaron for the day. Lukas smirked. We were currently arguing over who would take the baby home. School was over, and Lukas was thankfully back to normal after the PSG incident. Megan and Sam, who were partners for the baby, were waiting for the argument to finish so they could pick up the baby from the nursery. Meanwhile, Ethan and his partner were nowhere in sight. I sighed. I obviously can't fight him. I mean, looking at his muscles and powerfully built body, it's clear he works out daily. Brain, girl, take that offer. We could spy on his home for more clues. Fine, but I am only coming there for Aaron. And for some more bloody clues to reveal your deepest, darkest secrets. Brain, don't be overdramatic. I finally gave in, and he smirked at me, wiggling his eyebrows. I can't wait for you and me to be alone. He stepped towards me, eyes darkening with an emotion I could not place, or rather not dare to set. Oh my God. Is he thinking of coming to his supernatural form and then planning to hunt me down for dinner? I averted my eyes from him, shivering at the look he was giving me, and ran towards Megan and Sam, who were making their way towards the nursery to pick up the babies. We entered the nursery and greeted Martha, the caretaker of the nursery. I smiled as soon as I saw Aaron and rushed towards him. I missed you, baby. I carried him in my arms, and he giggled, waving his arms at me. I looked towards Megan, who was carrying a cute baby girl. But what I found strange was that Sam was maintaining her distance from the baby and was slightly pale. I carried Aaron and made my way towards them. Is everything okay, Sam? I asked her with concern. What happened to her? She is usually the cheerful girl of the group. Why, yeah, I am fine. I will go home now. I will meet you guys tomorrow. Bye. She practically ran outside the nursery. I looked at Megan. She just shrugged as we looked at her retreating figure, still puzzled by her strange behavior. She must be feeling unwell. We then made our way outside the nursery with the babies in our arms. They were constantly babbling something, looking at each other. I think little Aaron has a crush. What's her name? I asked Megan while adjusting Aaron in my arms so he could babble more easily about his undying love for the cute baby girl. Ava, and I think she has a little crush on our Aaron there. We looked at Aaron, who was still babbling something to Ava, and then we turned our heads to Ava, who was blushing. I didn't know that babies could blush. I think we are going to become in-laws soon. Megan and I giggled and made our way to Lukas, who was leaning against the hood of the car. Man, he looks so hot. I shook my head to get rid of those thoughts. I shouldn't be thinking like that. He could be a supernatural for all I know, and would be planning to take over the Earth now. I should save my dear planet Earth. As soon as he saw me, he stood up straight and smiled softly at me. I don't think he is planning to take over the world or anything like that. I mean, according to Nate, he already owns the largest company and practically owns half of the world, too. Ready to be swept by me, princess? He asked, opening the car door for me. Excuse me. I can open the car door very much by myself. Actually, I have to inform my brother Nate about the change of plans and that I am coming with you guys. I told him. He sighed. Fine. Hand Aaron over to me so you can go and inform him. I nodded and handed Aaron over to him. Come soon, baby. I will miss you too much, even if you are gone for a few minutes only. He winked at me. I looked horrified. He just smiled at me. He called me baby. What the heck? I turned around and ran towards where my brother's car was parked. I saw him tapping his foot impatiently as he waited for me. You're late. What got you so late anyway? And where's Aaron? Nate raised his eyebrows at me. There's a change of plan. I am going to my partner's house with Aaron. I will come back before dinner. What? You are going to a boy's house? I want to meet him. I want to make sure he is good enough for my baby sister or not. He rolled up his sleeves. I rolled my eyes. Nate, it's just for Aaron. Plus, we have to live with each other at the resort too, while handling Aaron. I still want to meet him. He insisted. Fine, but please behave. No overprotectiveness. I pointed a finger at Nate as he cracked his knuckles. We made our way to where Lukas and Megan were standing. I felt Nate tense beside me, and I looked at him to see him standing there, frozen. What in the mammoth's name happened to him now? I looked ahead of me again to where Megan and Lukas were standing and saw Megan glaring at him. She raised her hand and pointed her finger at him. You! How dare you show me your face again, you shameless monkey. I think another punch will be good for you. She stalked towards Nate, fuming. Nate squealed like a little girl and jumped behind me. Save me, Kres. That girl punches really hard. I just looked at them in realization. Megan was the one who punched the living daylight out of Nate for flirting with her. Chapter 10. Bam. And friend-zoned. Megan handed over Ava to Lukas, who still looked hot with 2 toddlers hanging from each arm, and then she stalked towards me, or the person behind me. Nate squeaked. Before Megan could reach Nate, I jumped in between. Now guys, let's cool down, there's no need to fight. I laughed nervously, eyeing Megan's fist. If my theory of Lukas being supernatural were correct, then that would mean that even Megan was related, and I didn't want my brother to die. Megan backed away. Nate, apologize. No, I told the now shivering Nate, who was still clutching my shirt tightly. I am sorry, Megan, but you really are beautiful. You know, when your fist is not in contact with any part of my body. I face-palmed. Megan glared at him. But was that a hint of pink I could see on her cheeks? Oh, I have a ship to sail. Nate came out from behind me. Okay, so now that it's clear that no one will punch me, where's that young man that I have to meet? I snorted. Young man, you say? He's bigger than the average adult man. We all went to where Lukas was standing with Aaron and Ava still in his arms. Nate looked at Lukas. Lukas looked at Nate. They both looked at each other, not blinking, and after a while, they nodded at each other. Okay? Nate turned towards me. I will inform Mom and Dad that you are at your friend's, but be back before dinner. He looked sharply at me, to which I nodded. He then glanced at Megan, who now took Ava from Lukas and was rocking her as Ava's eyes drooped. Nate gave her a longing glance, but she still didn't look up at him. He sighed and then turned around to where his car was parked. I again looked at Megan, who was now staring at his retreating. Something was definitely up. I then glanced at Lukas, who opened the red Lamborghini's door for me with one hand while holding Aaron with the other. Stop drooling at the car and the one who's holding the car door. I snapped out of my reverie and quickly got in. Megan sat behind with Aaron and Ava, who were in their car seats. Ava was sleeping, so Aaron got bored and kept poking her. Megan got scared that she would wake up and shifted the car seat to her other side, resulting in Megan sitting between them. Aaron pouted. Poor baby. I returned my gaze to Lukas, who was in the driver's seat. His one hand was on the steering wheel while the other hand brushed against my thigh, erupting familiar tingles. I subtly tried to move his hands away, but the plan backfired when he caught my hand with his large hand, holding it tightly, resulting in the tingling increasing tenfold. My gaze immediately snapped at him. He was smiling, his eyes still on the road. Lukas, I whispered so as not to wake up the kids who were napping behind. Yes, baby? What's wrong? He glanced at me mischievously before looking at the road again. I scowled. Leave my hand. I tugged my hand to take it out of his grip, but it tightened. I could feel the sparks zap at my arms. It was both warming and overwhelming. Why do these sparks erupt every time we touch? Why would I leave your hand when I have just caught it? He looked at me with eyes filled with love. Whoa, it was huge. Huge with a capital H. I meant his mansion. It was huge. The house was situated outside the town, near the woods. That is the reason why I never noticed this mansion before. We had passed a big gate in front of it, and then Lukas parked the car at the entrance. I took Aaron from the back seat of the car, who had also dozed off, and carried him out while Megan carried Ava. I was still gawking at the mansion when Lukas came to stand beside me. He put his hand at the small of my back and ushered me in, with Megan following behind. "Hey guys." "You go ahead. I have to check up on Sam. She was behaving weird." "I am taking Ava with me. I will be back after some time." "Enjoy." "Wait, what?" "She can't be leaving me with Lukas here. I can barely handle being with him in the same car, let alone in this mansion." But she was gone before I could say something. "Oh Lord, help me." In the car, he hadn't let go of my hand till we had reached his house, and I was fighting to control my thundering heart. I turned back slowly to Lukas. He was smiling at me happily. He took Aaron from my arms and put his free hand on my waist, pulling me closer. "Don't worry, I won't try anything on you," he whispered in my ear. I relaxed. "Yet?" he said as an afterthought. My eyes flew to him. He had this mischievous glint in his eyes. "What does he mean by that?" "I think we should keep Aaron to sleep," I nervously said, trying to remove whatever this tension was. He nodded, looking at sleeping Aaron in his arms. "Okay, come on." He held out his free hand to me, and I unconsciously grabbed it. He smiled and started walking upstairs, and I followed him. The mansion was even bigger on the inside. "Do you and Megan live here alone?" I asked, but instantly regretted the question when he tensed. I shouldn't have asked that. "Yeah, it's just one of my many houses I own around the world." He shrugged nonchalantly. "Are you kidding me?" We entered a room where Lukas opened the door to reveal a space filled with all the toys, a baby slide, and various other fun things for babies. I gaped at him. How did he manage all this? As if reading my thoughts, he answered. "I called my PA and asked him to arrange all this," he said. "He has a PA. He is the CEO of the largest company. What do you expect?" "Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that." We went inside, and Lukas placed Aaron on the bed, where he snuggled with the soft toy that was already there. I smiled and leaned in to kiss him on his forehead. I stood up and turned to look at Lukas, who was staring at me. "What?" I asked and let out a nervous chuckle, uncomfortable with his staring. "You are beautiful, Krestel." He spoke huskily. I flushed deep red, fidgeting with my hands. Thanks, I guess." I mumbled out. "Hey, don't blame me. I was only complimented by my parents before, so I'm not sure what to say to him." He let out a deep chuckle. "Let's go downstairs. We can watch a movie or something, if you're okay with that." "But what about Aaron? What if he wakes up?" I didn't want him to be scared when he would wake up. "Don't worry, I have set up the baby monitor. We will know when he wakes up," he said. I nodded and let him pull me out of the room. We went downstairs, and he went in the other direction, with me following him, my hands still in his. He opened a door, and I gasped. It was a theater. He has a theater in his house. "So, what movie would you like to watch?" I shrugged. Anything would be fine, as long as it's not horror. Last time I watched it, I had to sleep in my mom and dad's room for about a month until I got rid of the thought that the ghost was gonna eat me alive. I shivered just thinking about that blasted horror movie. Lukas smirked. "I am definitely using that information for future." He mumbled to himself as he began searching for a good non-horror movie while I sat on a comfortable couch. What does he mean by that? My brain, forget about that. Focus on the plan. Me, oh yeah, what should I do now? My brain, be friends with him or something. Me, what? Nowadays, do you think that he would want to be my friend? My brain, give it a shot. Me, the things I do for my curiosity. I took deep breaths. I folded my legs on the couch and started biting my nails. Come on, Kres. You could do this. I gathered up all my courage and called out his name. Lukas. Yeah. He stopped whatever movie he was searching for and looked at me. I nervously scratched the back of my head. Will you be my F-friend? Chapter 11. Just Friends. He froze. He stared at me as if he couldn't believe I was real, and within his now pitch-black eyes, I saw some unknown emotion flash. Was it anger? No, it was something that came close to hurting. Did I say something wrong? Oh shiz. He doesn't want to become my friend. But before I could say anything, he started. You want to become friends? Just friends? He asked me as if he had heard me wrong. Yeah, I nodded. He still didn't move his gaze from me and stalked closer, taking predatory steps towards me, eyes filled with hunger. I think he forgot to eat lunch again today. He should get an LA, too, with a PA as well, short for lunch assistant. He strode to where I was sitting on the couch and leaned in, keeping both of his hands on either side of me. I leaned back until my head touched the headrest of the couch. He came closer until his face was inches away from mine. I think he could even hear my racing heart. He tilted his head so that now his lips were brushing against my ear, causing me to shiver. The tingles that ran through my body were not helping either. Okay, darling, I will be your friend, if that's what you want. He whispered huskily in my ear and then abruptly stood up, smirking at my frenzied state. I am sure I look like a tomato right now. Please understand me as a vegetable and then cut me to eat me for later. But that won't last for long, sweetheart. He spoke with a serious face, his eyes darkening. His eyes held some dark promise. He means that the friendship won't last? I am offended. I am not a bad friend. I am a frick-fracking awesome friend. Don't think too much, darling. Let's watch the movie now, shall we? As friends. He spoke, scrunching up his face at the word friends. I think he has friend phobia or something. Does that even make sense? Lukas came and sat beside me when the movie started, handing me a bucket of popcorn and putting his arm over my shoulder, bringing me closer. I stiffened. What happened, baby? Friends sit beside each other all the time, so just relax. Yeah, they sit beside each other, don't call each other baby, and put their arm over each other's shoulders. I grumbled, I swear, if it weren't so curious about him being a supernatural or not, I would have run out of this place screaming like a banshee. That's what a normal person would do. You aren't normal, Kres. My dear inner voice. 2 words, shut up. I tried to relax and watch the movie, with the sparks zapping through my body, but that was not the real problem. Oh no, not at all. The real problem started when I saw the movie's name flash on the screen. Resident Evil. I abruptly turned to Lukas. I said no horror movie, but it's a thriller, not horror. And if you're so scared, then you can hold my hands or even hug me. I won't mind it at all. Lukas spoke while holding out his hands for me. Yeah, right. As if zombie apocalypse is any less than horror. And no, don't even think about going out of the room. There's no one in the house except Aaron, who is sleeping. Lukas spoke as soon as he saw me glancing at the theater door. I gulped and looked at his hands, then at the movie which had started playing, and then I crashed my body into his, hugging him as well as clutching his hands. He chuckled and brought me closer to him, resting his chin on top of my head. My angel. He murmured in my hair. That movie was awesome. I loved it. I can't wait to watch all the parts of the movie. Alice is so cool and strong. Do you think I can be like her when there's a zombie apocalypse? I flung my arms and then kicked my legs in the air, pretending to beat the zombies, and then looked at Lukas for an answer. Yup, you could even be stronger than Alice, my butterfly. Lukas slung his one arm over my shoulder as I beamed. The movie was over, and it was awesome. I wasn't scared at all. I had a little scare, but overall, it was thrilling. And I enjoyed it. As it was almost noon, we decided to check up on Aaron. We entered the room to find him still sleeping soundly. I closed the door behind us softly so as not to wake him up. So, what should we do now? I asked Lukas as we exited Aaron's room, but before he could answer, my stomach growled out loud. I blushed red. First, let us fill that tummy of yours. Lukas pulled me towards the kitchen, and I gladly followed. What would you like to eat? Lukas asked. I don't know, maybe cake? I suggested. Don't judge me, peeps, I have a sweet tooth. You want to eat cake for snacks? Lukas laughed. I narrowed my eyes at him. What's wrong with it? Nothing. He raised his hands and shook his head. Then let's bake a cake, I said excitedly. Lukas chuckled and opened the cupboards to take out various mixes. And I immediately chose the chocolate flavor. Your favorite flavor is chocolate? Lukas asked. Duh. Who doesn't like chocolate? Why do you ask? Nothing, just for future preferences, when we get down to it. You know, he smirked. I don't understand half of the things he says. I gave him a strange look and started mixing the mixes. Hee, that sounds so funny, mixing the mixes. I still can't believe you want to eat cake for snacks. Lukas muttered. I stomped my feet and went towards him. Tapping his shoulders, he turned towards me and I poured the mix on him. He froze. The liquid mix dripped down his hair and onto his face. I laughed loudly and tears came out of my eyes. His gaze slowly moved towards me. You did not just do that. He grabbed the eggs and ran after me. I ran towards a glass door through which an outside view could be seen. I opened it and halted. Shiznits. It's the swimming pool. I turned back to run in the other direction, but it was too late. Lukas was already standing there, grinning. Ah, my poor rabbit is trapped now. He smirked and began walking towards me. I started moving backwards, and as my foot slipped, I fell into the pool with a loud splash. Lukas got shocked first, but then laughed. You look like a wet kitten, he laughed again. Well, Mom always says that I have rabbit teeth. I then smirked, an idea forming in my head, and I screamed, pretending to drown. Ah, save me! Save me! And just like that, he jumped into the pool with me. I swam far away from him before he could catch me. He narrowed his eyes. You are one hella naughty mate. And he chased me. I screamed and again skimmed further. We played like limitless kids, and he chased me until I got caught. He turned me towards him. Took you long enough. I giggled. I love chases, darling. He whispered huskily, and just like that, the atmosphere changed into something intense. His eyes flew towards my lips. I unconsciously bit it, and his eyes darkened. He leaned in, our lips inches apart from mine. Whoa, PDA much? Chapter 12 Dinner Olala. I jumped away from Lukas and looked in the direction of the voice. Ethan stood there, grinning at us with Megan standing beside him, staring at us with wide eyes. Did we interrupt something? Megan looked at me and then at Lukas, grinning widely. I quickly got out of the pool, red in the face, and Megan handed me a towel. I didn't know you both were doing that or else we wouldn't have come here. Megan winked at me. But we were just swimming. Why wouldn't you want to come here while we were swimming? I asked her, feeling confused. Wait, so you don't know what he was going to do if we wouldn't have interrupted? I shook my head. Wait, was he gonna eat me because I threw the batter mix at him? Why is it that when anything happens, you always assume that Lukas is gonna eat you? I don't know your inner voice. You would understand it if you were in my place. It's just that he looks at me in that way, in which he wants to eat me or something. Megan shook her head and laughed lightly. I pity Lukas, man. You didn't even know what he was going to do. Lukas let out a low curse behind me and got out of the pool as well. He looked at me again and then glared in the direction of Ethan. Bro, why are you covered with that sticky thing? What is that thing even? Ethan looked at the mix, which was now super wet, super sticky, and super yucky to stare at. Lukas growled at him. Ethan coughed and then ran out of the room, followed by a very pissed-off-looking Lukas. What happened to him? Just now, he was so playful. Meh, must be his time of the month. Guys don't have their times of the month, Krestel. Oh, hey, inner voice. We talked about this many times. Guys do have their times of the month. Nate eating strawberry cheesecake once a month, though he doesn't like it, does not imply that he is on his time of the month. Then what does it imply to? It implies that he again got rejected by a girl due to his awful pickup lines. Oh, you are right. Why didn't I think of it before? Hey Kres, Common, you can change in my room. You are all soaked. I looked down at myself and sure enough, I was all soaked up and shivering due to the cold. Yeah, let's go. I nodded frantically. After taking a warm shower, I wore the clothes Megan gave me and went to Aaron's room to check on him. I opened the door and saw him playing on the baby slide. How did he manage to get out of his crib and go there? Oh well, I am just glad he did not hurt himself. As soon as he saw me, he slid down the slide and crawled towards me. I chuckled and picked him up. He giggled as I kissed his chubby cheeks. Let's feed you now, shall we? Surprisingly, he nodded. What a smart baby. I brought him downstairs to the kitchen and placed Aaron with Ava in the high chair. He immediately reached out for Ava, and I chuckled. Love is in the air. I put their seats closer together so that they could easily flirt with each other. Can babies flirt? I looked at Aaron, who started his babbling towards Ava, who sat there staring at him, and when he finished, Ava's cheeks were red. They can definitely flirt. I went towards Megan, who handed me a milk bottle and took one in her hand. Where are Lukas and Ethan? I asked Megan as Aaron drank milk from the bottle. They went patrolling. I mean to take a W walk. They will be coming back soon now. Megan nervously chuckled. Okay, I slowly drawled out. OMG. I just imagined Lukas and Ethan taking a long walk on the beach hand in hand. I giggled at that. My inner voice can be funny sometimes. Are you okay? Megan looked at me unsurely. Of course I am. I nodded my head and took the bottle out of Aaron's mouth as he finished it. How's Sam doing? She looked pale. I asked Megan, who glanced at Ava and then me. She is unwell, but I am sure she will get as good as a horse after resting a bit. Megan said, and I nodded. Sam was hyperactive. Not having her around is dull. We went to the living room and placed Aaron and Ava on the sofa with all the toys as they busied themselves playing. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and I took it out to see Nate's name flashing. I picked it up as Megan went to the kids, assuring they didn't fall off. Krestel Winters. When are you coming home? Before I could reply, he gasped dramatically. Don't tell me, are you doing the dirty deeds with Lukas? Dirty deeds? Is he talking about the food fight we had? But how does he know about that? Chill bro, I am just coming home. Oh, and yes, bring your friends too. Mom wants to meet them. Dad already prepared dinner for them. Sure. I will ask them if they want to come or not. I replied, and after saying our goodbyes, I cut the call. Lukas came through the door at the exact moment, with Ethan and Sam behind him. Sam looked like she was better again. As soon as Lukas's eyes met mine, he came towards me and wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling me in. I missed you, he murmured. Dude, we just saw each other like 1 hour ago. I tried to push him, but it was of no use. Lukas, remove your hands. I can't breathe. He immediately removed them, and I took a huge breath, deciding to ask them about the dinner plan. Would you guys like to come over for dinner tonight? I asked them. Yeah, sure. The dinner will be OLA for sure when even the lunch Krestel brings is delicious. I would like to try some of more food items cooked like that. Ethan rubbed his hands together and licked his lips. I chuckled. Ethan always eats half of my lunch. Just be glad that Mom is not the one cooking. I looked at Megan and Sam, who nodded too. Then I looked at Lukas, who was smiling at me. Sure, darling, why not? I mean, I have to meet my in-laws after all. Chapter 13. Jealous much? So, Kres, how should I act? Formal, informal, or something in between? Ethan asked while chewing on his fingernails. I rolled my eyes at Ethan. Geez, he is just having dinner with my parents. Why are you so scared, man? Just act normal, Ethan. And what in the world is acting in between? He shrugged and tilted his head up, tapping his chin in a thinking manner. We were sitting in the car, Ethan was sitting in the car, freaking out, while Lukas, Megan, Sam, and I were trying to pull him out of the car. I don't know how my parents haven't heard us already, the car is parked right in front of the house. Lukas was carrying a sleeping Aaron while Ava was with Megan, looking at Ethan like he had gone nuts. Even Ava knows that Ethan is being his overdramatic self. You know what, Ethan? There's Camila Cabello inside Krestel's house and will be dash. Before I could blink, Ethan was already out of the car and rushing to the door of my house. I looked at Megan, shocked. The guy is obsessed over her. She shrugged. I nodded slowly. We all made our way to the front porch towards the door where Ethan was furiously knocking. Lukas placed his hand on my waist. Do friends always walk like this? I never had a boy who was my friend before. And I never walked like this with my other friends. But it feels warm and comfortable. I rang the bell, my mind still numb from the sparks which were running down my body. Something is definitely up with this sparks thing. They also arise only when Lukas touches me. It's really strange, but it feels good. So very good that it's starting to scare me. I came out of my reverie as loud footsteps were heard from the other side of the door, indicating that someone was approaching it to open. Please God, let everything go fine and let the night end well. I took a huge breath as the door opened, and Ethan rushed inside, frantically searching everywhere for Camilla. We all ignored him. I looked at who opened the door and gasped. Matt? Oh my God, is that really you? I ran over to him and tackled him in a hug. Matthew Maranzano is my cousin from my dad's side. And yeah, he is Italian. My aunt married an Italian businessman, and so he is half Italian. He is also the best cousin ever. I was unable to meet him for 2 years, as he was focused on managing his company. Of course, it's me, kiddo. I missed you. He chuckled and ruffled my hair. A possessive growl erupted from behind me, and in a flash, I was pulled into someone's arms, my nose flattened against a hard chest. Hey, Lukas, let me go. What are you doing? I recognized the person as Lukas because of the tingles, which had now increased tenfold as I could feel his hard frame against my body. I tried to push my face away, but he kept a hand at the back of my head firmly, pushing it towards his chest whenever I would try to pull away. What is wrong with him? I managed to pull my face away from his chest and looked up towards his face, which was now glaring at Matt. Lukas' eyes turned pitch black with a hint of gold swirling in them as he kept growling while holding me tightly. Shiz. My supernatural theory is becoming more and more true. I mean, no normal person can change their eye color without the use of a lens or something, and I am sure as hell that he isn't wearing any contacts. Lukas, I called out for him. Gosh, why is he so jealous of my awesome cousin? His gaze fell upon me and his hard eyes softened. I seized the opportunity of his loosened grip and jumped away from him, but before he could react with a growl and pull me like a caveman, I caught his hand. Lukas, meet my cousin Matthew Maranzano. Cousin? He is your cousin? Lukas looked at me and relief washed over his face. I nodded. Duh. What did you think, bro? Megan patted Lukas's shoulder, and he scowled at her. Matthew looked at Lukas and squinted his eyes. Lukas Romano. Lukas looked at him in disbelief. I looked in between them. Lukas had his regular, calm face, while Matt looked like he had seen a celebrity for real. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Romano. You are like practically the king of the business world. I am glad that I had a chance to meet you. Matt put forward his hand for Lukas. Call me Lukas. Lukas shook Matt's hand and nodded. He? A king of the business world? OMG. My friend is a king? And did Matt call him Mr. Romano? If you don't mind me asking, what are you doing here? Matt looked between me and Lukas. Oh, he is my friend. I answered Matt. Giggles erupted behind us. Friend? You mean friends, right? Dude, are you Sardash? Megan put a hand on Sam's mouth. What are friends? Shiz, did they find out about my plan to uncover his supernatural secret? Oh kids, there you are. Matt, I told you to bring them in the living room. My mom came rushing towards us. Hello darlings, I am glad that my daughter has made such amazing friends. I am her mother, but you can call me Indy. She smiled at them, and they returned her smile. Krestel, why don't you take your friends to the living room? Your dad is there with your other friend Ethan. Nate will join you all shortly while I go and check on dinner arrangements. I nodded, and we all went to the living room, where my dad was already present. He looked horrified as Ethan asked him about Camilla Cabello. Uncle, I am telling you, you have Camilla Cabello in your house. You just don't know about her cause you're blinded by her charms. I mean, I get blinded by her so many times. Once I didn't see the bathroom sign and got into the ladies' washroom. Ethan ranted. Dad looked horrified. What are you talking about, young man? I don't have any Camilla in my house. I face-palmed. Way to go, Ethan. What a first impression. Hey, Dad, meet my friends. I gestured towards Sam, Megan, and Lukas, who stood beside me. Well, hello there, kids. It's nice to meet you, but Krestel? Can you tell your friend Ethan to stop clinging to me, and who in the world is Camilla? Ethan gasped. You don't know Camilla? Megan and I rushed towards them, trying to pull Ethan away from Dad. Mom came into the living room, looking at us, unsure as to what we were doing. Nate was behind her, looking amused. Come on kids, dinner's ready. The dinner was going really well. More than I expected. Aaron and Ava had slept in my room after Megan and I fed them with the baby monitor on. Lukas was seated beside me and talking to my dad and Matt about business. Thank God they got together well. Ethan had seemed to forget about his celebrity crush and was wafting the food on his plate. Uncle, you cook the best food in the whole world. Dad was still wary of Ethan. Apparently, Ethan and Nate were having a competition to see who could eat the most. Mom, Sam, and Megan were discussing Brad Pitt. Yeah, I know I am left out. Meh, I would rather talk about aliens invading the Earth or something like that. Lukas's hand rested on my knees, starting their movement up my thigh. I choked on my food, and everyone's attention turned towards me. Lukas handed me a glass of water. What happened, Krestel? Are you all right? Lukas asked me in a seemingly innocent way. I nodded, and everyone returned to their conversations. I glared at him. Remove your hands. Why, darling? Friends do this and many more things all the time. Are you not my friend? He blinked at me, pouting. Brain, Krestel. Please do it for the mission. Me, but friends aren't supposed to act like that. Brain, mission. Me, fine. Oh, of course you are my friend, Lukas. I nervously smiled at him. Dad and Matt pulled him into their business conversation again, and I sighed in relief when his hands didn't go any further up. Bye-bye, Krestel. I enjoyed today very much. The food was excellent. I will see you at school tomorrow. Don't forget to bring your lunch, Ethan said. He looked bloated as he leaned on the car's hood to stand. Sam was shaking her head at him. We arrived in 2 cars. There are 2 groups, one with Lukas, Megan, and me, and the other with Sam and Ethan. I will see you tomorrow, Krestel. Lukas hugged me and kissed my forehead. Nate and I were on our front porch saying our goodbyes to them. Tata, Lukas. I hugged him back. He is so comfortable. I looked at Megan, who had Ava in her arms as Nate made his way towards her. Hey Megan, did you just fart? 'Cause baby, you blow me away every time I see you. And that's how Nate got another black eye. Chapter 14. Traveling in Style. So you're telling me that you're joining the school here? I asked Matt, slurping my chocolate milkshake. Heaven. Nate, Matt, and I were seated for breakfast. Mom and Dad left early for work, so we were the only ones. So you know what that means? Getting high on sugar. Duh. Yep, I'm taking a much-needed break after spending those boring hours in meetings with Dad. Matt scooped down a spoonful of his cereal. He's going to take over his father's company after officially graduating. So he had and still has a lot of work to do. Poor rich kids. I mean, bruh, you're just 18. I nodded, giving him a sympathetic smile. I held the milk bottle to Aaron's mouth as he drank while sitting on my lap. Okay now newbies, it's time for school. Nate got up from his chair. He looked really funny with 2 black eyes. One bruise was fading, while the other one was still fresh. I couldn't help but laugh. And Kres, please stop laughing at my misery. I mean, why doesn't Megan like me? I'm using the best of my pickup lines on her. Nate pouted as we all took our bags and exited the house. I rolled my eyes at him. Matt laughed. Dude, if that's the way you're going to get a girl, you'll get more than just 2 black eyes. Trust me, I know. Matt whispered out the last part, a smile on his lips with a dreamy expression. I narrowed my eyes at him. Don't tell me. Matt has a crush? Not proud to say, but my best cousin in the world was a playboy. He lives in New York, and trust me, he's dated every single model, and one model lasts for only 1 week max. He doesn't even remember their names afterwards. And it's my first time seeing that expression on him, like he's remembering someone. A girl? What are you talking about, Matt? Don't tell me you got rejected by someone. I teased him as we walked to the car. Nate stifled his laugh. He was walking ahead of us, listening to the conversation. What? Me and rejected? That's nearly impossible. Matt wore his sunglasses as soon as we stepped outside the house. Sure, I high-fived Nate. I sat in the back seat with Aaron. Nate took the driver's seat, while Matt took the passenger seat. Though he was my cousin, I couldn't deny that Reno was what you would call an arrogant, billionaire playboy CEO. But Lukas is different. Well, now that is not something I can deny. He's humble and not at all arrogant, a down-to-earth person and very attractive. And don't even get me started on the tingles that emerge every time we touch. Anne, it's supposed to be supernatural. I sighed. Today was the day we were going to the resort for the annual fair and games. Our belongings were already picked up by the resort staff, who had dropped by every student's house. We were going to live with our assigned babies, and Lukas, in the same frickin' room. I paled at the thought, nervousness seeping into my body. Well, at least Aaron will be there. I looked at him. He was busy looking outside the window. I smiled as I saw him looking at the forest. The forest had many mysteries. The huge wolf's image with its familiar eyes flashed across my mind. Aaron turned towards me from where he was standing on the seat and had his hands pressed against the window. I was supporting him so that he wouldn't fall. He giggled at me. I wonder what he finds so funny. I giggled with him too, cradling him in my arms once I saw the school building. Once Nate pulled over the car in the school parking lot, I immediately spotted Megan's red, fiery hair with Ethan. Sam stood beside them. Where's Lukas? Nate, Matt, and I made our way towards them. Aaron's eyes brightened when he saw Ava. I noticed an unknown figure standing beside Sam, who was carrying Ava. Hey, everyone. Ethan raised his hand, waving at us. I smiled at them and bumped my fist with him. Where's Lukas? I asked, and Ethan and Megan chuckled. He'll be here in a moment. Why, missing the lover boy? Ethan made kissy faces. I rolled my eyes at him. Just curious, I shrugged. They both laughed. My gaze fell on Sam. She was unusually quiet and seemed sad. I went to stand beside her while Matt and Ethan went to Megan, Ethan, and the unknown person carrying Ava. Aaron struggled in my arms and flung his arms toward Ava. I pouted. So Aaron was not Mama's boy anymore. I called over Nate and handed Aaron over to him so that he could take him to Ava. I made my way toward where Sam was standing. She seemed lost. Hey, Sam. I stood beside her. She jerked her face toward me. Hey, Kres. I didn't see you there. What's up? She smiled, but it wasn't a usual smile. She was definitely troubled. Are you okay? I asked her. Her eyes shifted to the boy who was carrying Ava. Why, yeah, everything's fine, she mumbled. I frowned. She was definitely sad about something. Students, we are going to depart for the resort. You can either come in the bus or in your cars, but be there by sharp 12 o'clock. Mr. Franklin's sharp voice rang through the speakers. Students rushed. Some began to fill the bus while others drove in their cars. Let's go to the others, Kres. Sam pointed toward where Nate, Sam, Matt, and Megan were standing. We walked toward them. The boy with Ava was still present and looking in the direction of Sam. I could feel the tension between them as the boy glared at Sam. She averted her eyes. What is going on? I looked at others, but no one had noticed the cold glare of the boy, which was directed at Sam. Okay, now, let's go to Ellie Romano, shall we? Whoever is coming with me, please follow. I will be your designated driver, and I promise you will have the ride of your life. Ethan's voice got lower and lower as he marched to where his car was parked. Megan rolled her eyes at him, then looked at the boy who was with Ava. I guess Ava is coming with you? The boy nodded his head and went to another car. Aaron looked disappointed by the arrangements. I frowned. Why is she giving Ava to him? Is he a boy nanny or something? But I thought we were supposed to take care of the babies ourselves? You coming? Megan looked at me. I shook my head. I will go with Nate. I glanced at Nate, who had a pout the same as Aaron's. "'Kay, I will meet you there." She pulled Sam in the direction of Ethan's car. I looked at Nate with raised eyebrows, who was watching after Megan like a lost puppy. I thought Megan would come with me. He stomped his feet and went toward the car with slumped shoulders with Aaron. I looked at Matt, and we both sighed. Poor Nate. And now poor Aaron, too. We began walking to where the car was parked when suddenly two arms snuck around my waist and pulled me. My back hit a hard chest, familiar tingles running through my body. I shivered and leaned my head slightly back. The earthly scent was so refreshing. What are you doing? Lukas is your friend. Friend. I struggled once my brain registered who it was. Where do you think you're going, darling? You are coming in my car with me. I slowly tilted my head back at Lukas. It's okay, I can go with Nate, you know. I awkwardly said, trying to pry his hands off. I looked at him again. Could you remove your hands? I spoke slowly to him. You are coming with me. He almost growled, his eyes darkened, grip tightening as his warm breath fanned against my neck. I gulped. Stay strong, stay strong. Deny. Strong. Oh, okay, I will come with you. I squeaked at him. Way to be strong, Krestel. Shut up, inner voice, you would know it if you were in my place. Okay then, let's get going. Lukas turned me around and kept his hands at the small of my back. Wait a second. I have to tell Ethan that I'm coming with you and Aaron Dash. Chill, Krestel, I will tell him, and Aaron will be just fine with us. Stop being such a mommy and go with your boyfriend. Matt shooed me. What? What boyfriend? Thanks, man. Lukas nodded at him. Matt gave him a thumbs up and started walking toward the car while whistling and kicking stones. But I am not your girlfriend. I shrieked at Lukas. Lukas pulled me closer to him. Oh, really, darling, you think that? Then tell me, what are you to me? A friend, I answered, breathing in his earthly scent. He smells so good, so MHM. Please remind me to ask his perfume brand later. Yes, you are my friend and also a girl, so in short, you are my girlfriend, he announced. I looked at him dazed. Girl plus friend equals girlfriend. Brain, Krestel, did you notice that? Did you? Me? What? What? Notice what? Brain, you just did math. Me? Okay. I ignored my brain and looked at Lukas again. He was staring at me. What? I asked him as he continued to stare. You zoned out, darling. And as much as I love to discuss you being my girlfriend, I think we should probably leave for the resort. I looked around at the empty parking lot. All right, let's go then. What are you waiting for? I broke free from his grip and started walking. I looked back at him when he didn't follow. He was looking at me amusedly. My car is the other way, sweetheart. He pointed in the opposite direction. I blushed. Oh, of course, let's go. I again went in his direction, and he caught my hand, leading me to where his car was parked. I gaped at it. It was an Aston Martin. Wow, traveling in style much. My lady. He opened the door for me and tipped his imaginary hat. I laughed and got in the car as he shut the door. He rounded the car and opened the other door, sliding into the seat. Ready for the ride of your life, baby? Lukas grinned at me. Now that I realize, I am in a metal container that, mind you, is very expensive, with a supposed to be supernatural. Chapter 15. The Resort. So, you're going to just drive your fancy car in the woods? I asked, trying to mask my curiosity with a hint of disbelief. He chuckled and looked me in the eye. Oh, darling, there's a road in the jungle that takes you to the resort. I nodded in understanding and glanced out of the window. We were approaching the deeper side of the forest, and sure enough, I could see the road winding through the woods, its length extending far into the trees. I looked back at him. His eyes were focused on the road. I had gotten over the fact that I was in the same car as him alone. I could feel the electricity sizzling in the air between us. What I couldn't understand was why he was behaving so nicely toward me. I mean, he was a supernatural. I can feel your troubled eyes on me, sweetheart. Is something the matter? Or are you finally regretting the fact that you asked me to be your friend and not something else? He spared me a quick, mischievous glance before turning his attention back to the road. I quickly looked away. And no, it's nothing like that. I was just looking outside of your side window. I spoke, my voice involuntarily rising in pitch. Sure, I totally believe you, my little bird. Hey, who are you calling a little bird? I am very much a human being, thank you very much. Unlike you. And I am certainly not yours, I added as an afterthought. Suddenly, he stopped the car and I jerked my face toward him. Hey dude, why did you STO dash? I was cut off when he suddenly placed his hand on my thigh and leaned in closer, his face just inches from mine. Our breaths mingled as he gazed at me with an intensity that sent chills down my spine. The car's atmosphere grew warmer. His fingers gripped my thigh possessively. "You're mine, Cupcake. You just don't know it yet." I nervously looked into his eyes, now pitch black, completely different from his usual warm chocolate brown. Wire eyes, they changed color. He pulled back suddenly, leaving me cold. He closed his eyes and gripped the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. "Lukas? Are you okay?" He nodded, starting the car again, his demeanor shifting back to his usual self. "Well, someone has severe mood swings." "Whoa, this is so awesome!" I exclaimed as we reached the resort, thankfully without any further awkward halts. Lukas seemed to be back to himself. I looked at the resort in front of me. It was classy, huge, and very alluring. "Let's get inside, sweetheart. Or else you'll catch a cold." Lukas kept his hand at the small of my back as we walked toward the resort lobby. It was cold, and I was shivering. I noticed that all the resort staff members nervously glanced at Lukas as we passed. "Good afternoon, Mr. Romano." A man in his early 40s came forward, bowed to Lukas, and then looked at me. "You look lovely this afternoon, ma'am." He smiled at me, which I returned. He seemed to be the manager, based on his badge. Lukas nodded at him. "I hope all the arrangements are done here, Boris." "Yes, sir. Everything is done as per your orders." They began discussing some resort details, but I couldn't focus as Lukas kept a tight grip on me. He called me Mammam. I tried to control my laugh. He was calling me Mammam. For God's sake, dude, I'm just 16. I kept my hand over my mouth to hold back my giggles, but one escaped, making Lukas and the manager look at me. "Everything all right, ma'am?" the manager asked. "Don't laugh, Kres. Don't laugh. Control." I managed to nod while suppressing the giggles. Lukas glanced at me, and I pleaded with my eyes for him to move us somewhere else, anywhere but here, where this man kept calling me Mammam. He seemed to understand my plea and steered me away from the lobby. The manager, still concerned, looked like he thought something was wrong with me. He probably thinks I'm drunk. Lukas opened the door to the lobby, and as soon as we stepped outside, I burst into laughter. Lukas raised his eyebrows at me, a small smile playing on his lips. He waited patiently until my laughter subsided. "Something funny, sweetheart?" He giggle. He called me ma'am, giggle. "Oh God, that was so funny." I managed to say between my laughs. "You are so adorable, I feel like taking you right here, right now." His darkened eyes gazed at me with hunger, and his hands gripped my waist, pulling me closer. I gulped. My laughter faded into a nervous giggle. I involuntarily placed my hands on his flat chest. Where are you taking me?" "We're already at the resort, right?" I nervously chewed on my lip. His gaze fell on my lips, and he raised his thumb to release my lips from my teeth, his other hand still gripping my hips. "You are so innocent, darling." I wasn't talking about that kind of taking. His thumb stroked my lower lip. I looked up at his hooded eyes. What were you talking about then?" He smirked. "Trust me, darling, you wouldn't like to know that yet." He stepped away from me. "Come on, let's go to our room." I blinked. Once. Twice. WTF just happened? I think I just got seduced by a hot billionaire also known as Lukas Romano. I looked at him again. He was standing a distance away from me, but my hands were still clutched in his. "Come on, darling, let's go." "What fantasy are you lost in?" He smirked. I shook my head and glared at him. "Nothing. I'm not lost in any fantasy. Let's just go. I miss Aaron." "Sure, darling. That was what you were thinking." "Nothing else." I glared at him again. He knows. He knows, and he's still teasing me. He shook his head in amusement and led me down the path. There was a wooden path outside the lobby's exit, surrounded by trees and plants. I could see many small, cute cottages in the distance. "Wow, this place is truly beautiful," I mumbled. Lukas smiled at me. "Of course, it would be. It's owned by me." I rolled my eyes at him. "So which one will we be staying in?" I asked, feeling awkward when I said we. I still hadn't gotten over the fact that I was staying with a boy alone. Lukas led me into one of the cottages, and the interior was even more impressive. There was a hall on the ground floor and stairs leading to the bedroom. I squealed when I saw the bouncy bed and immediately ran to it. I kicked off my sandals and jumped on the bed. It was so warm and snuggly. I sighed in contentment. This was heaven. I was exhausted from the journey and had nothing on my mind but taking a good nap. I turned on my back and looked up at the ceiling where a huge chandelier hung. Why the fudge would they hang a chandelier just above the bed? What if it falls on me? This comfy bed doesn't deserve to be destroyed. I blinked when Lukas's face appeared in my view. He grinned and I narrowed my eyes. Before I could think of anything, he jumped on top of me. Oomph. Lukas. You oaf, get off of me. But why? I love cuddling with you, he whined from where he was on top of me. I placed my hands on his shoulders and pushed. He rolled off me and landed on the side of the bed. I sat up, breathing deeply, giving my lungs the much-needed oxygen. I turned to look at Lukas when his hand shot out and pulled me onto the bed again. I glared at him. Hey, what a dash. Shoo, sweetheart, let's just take a nap. You can yell at me as much as you want after we wake up. He placed a kiss on my forehead. Before I could speak, he snuggled into my neck, breathing me in. He tangled our legs together and pulled me impossibly closer. You smell so good, baby. He buried his face in my neck. I was too tired to protest. His warm body enveloped me like a cocoon, and soon I drifted off to sleep. When I opened my eyes, I was alone in the room. I looked to the side of the bed and found it cold. A feeling of disappointment rushed through me when I didn't find Lukas, but I quickly shook it off. He's just a friend. I sat up, rubbing the sleep from my eyes. I yawned as I got out of bed and walked to the bathroom. I washed my face thoroughly to get rid of the sleep marks and wiped it with a towel. I came outside the bathroom and walked toward the balcony, which offered a beautiful view of the forest. I looked outside and realized it was almost evening. The sun was setting, painting the sky a reddish hue. I leaned my hands on the balcony railing and looked down. I squinted my eyes when I saw two figures walking toward the forest. It was Lukas and Ethan. Where were they going? I quickly exited the balcony, slipped on my sandals, and rushed downstairs. I opened the cottage door and walked toward where there was a wall separating the forest from the resort. I saw a door in the wall and my hands clutched the handle. I opened the door and stepped outside, but then paused. Is it safe to go out there? Well, considering Lukas and Ethan went there, it would probably be safe. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I'm lost. Again. Chapter 16. I am not scared of you, Nada. I glanced at my surroundings, and the fear inched its way deeper into my chest. The dark forest seemed to close in on me with every step I took. The air was thick, and the canopy above blocked out most of the moonlight, leaving only slivers of light to guide me through the eerie silence. This was a bad idea. I could hear my heartbeat pounding in my ribcage, a constant reminder of the growing anxiety in my chest. I continued walking, the branches snapping and dried leaves crunching beneath my feet, as though the forest itself was trying to remind me I wasn't alone. I should probably call out for Lukas. But, for all I knew, he could be long gone. Lukas! I shouted into the silence of the woods, my voice echoing through the trees, disturbing the stillness. A flock of birds took flight from a nearby tree, startled by my call. I sighed in frustration. There was no use. I turned around to find my way back, but then stumbled over a branch that jutted out from the ground. My arms flailed in the air, desperately searching for something to grab onto, but I found nothing. I braced myself for the impact of hitting the ground. But instead of hard earth, I landed on something soft. I gasped in shock, my fingers gripping whatever had broken my fall. I looked down and my breath caught in my throat as I met the brown eyes of a large, very familiar wolf. He let out a soft purr as my fingers caressed his fur, and I quickly scrambled to my feet, pointing an accusing finger at him. Why you? I shrieked, but the wolf flinched visibly, flattening his ears and growling lowly, almost as if to tell me to stop screaming. I narrowed my eyes at him. Don't growl at me, Wolfie. I'm not scared of you. I moved closer to him and wagged my finger in front of his face. Nada, you can't scare me. The wolf stared at me with a strange expression, as if he thought I had lost my mind. I extended my hand cautiously, and to my surprise, he allowed me to pet him. His fur was so soft, and as I stroked his head, he leaned into my touch, soft growls escaping him. As I continued to stroke him, I felt something shift. His brown eyes flickered, changing to black. Something wasn't right. I suddenly stopped, the thought hitting me like a thunderclap. The wolf was Lukas. And Lukas was the wolf. I froze in place, my mind racing to catch up with the realization. How did I even manage to get myself into this situation again? I slowly turned back to the wolf, my finger trembling as I pointed at him. Why you, I stammered, my voice betraying me as the words refused to form properly. The wolf stared at me, amusement glinting in his eyes, as if to say, yeah, me. So, what now? I swallowed hard and forced myself to speak, my voice shaky but clear. I know you're Lukas. And I know you're a werewolf. The wolf's body jerked in surprise, and he let out a low growl. I looked up, meeting his shock-filled gaze. Wait, is the wolf's face still called a face? Or is there some other term for it? Now's not the time for that, Krestel. Focus. Right. I could feel the wolf's growl rumbling in his chest. His stance shifted to one that seemed to signal he was ready to chase me if I tried to run. I rolled my eyes. Boys. Or, in this case, werewolves. Chill, dude. I called out, shaking my head. I'm not scared. Honestly, it's cool to be something other than human, you know? I mean, I hardly make human friends, and now I've made a werewolf friend. Damn, I'm proud of myself. The wolf snorted at my words, looking at me as if I were completely mad. I walked up to him, wagging my finger in front of his face, or whatever part of his face the wolf had. Now, take me to the hotel. I'm damn tired, and I need to see Aaron. After that, you're going to tell me everything about werewolves, I said, gesturing for him to move. But the wolf didn't move. Instead, he sat down, giving me a look as though he was waiting for me. He didn't just want me to talk, he wanted me to do something. With a tilt of his head, he nudged me lightly, as if telling me to hop on. I stood there, processing what just happened. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I, Krestel Winters, am going to ride a wolf. Lucky me. Chapter 17, Female Anopheles Mosquito. When we finally reached the resort, I jumped off the wolf's back, still trying to steady myself on my feet. Whoa, you're even faster than a freaking bullet train. I leaned against a tree for support, still trying to catch my breath. Yep, that's not the only thing I'm fast at, you know. I turned around to see Lukas, now in his human form, standing before me. Thank God he's wearing clothes. Although, I'm surprised you're taking the whole me being a werewolf thing so lightly, he said, walking toward me. I shrugged. If you haven't noticed, I'm not exactly normal. Plus, I think my brain is still processing this whole werewolf thing being real. I nodded to myself, still trying to wrap my head around it. Lukas wrapped his arms around me from behind, pulling me into a hug. The familiar spark shot through me. Don't worry. I'd never hurt you. He nuzzled his face into my neck, making me shiver a little. I smiled, I know that, dummy. Plus, you can't hurt me with your tiny little wolf paws. He looked offended. Tiny? Darling, I think I need to teach you a lesson. He lunged for me, and I shrieked, running toward what I hoped was Megan's room. I heard his footsteps thudding behind me, and I couldn't help but laugh. Come back here. Oh my baby. I missed you. I cooed at Aaron as I opened my arms for him, and he immediately snuggled into me. The whole group was gathered in Megan's room, just chilling. A werewolf. A werewolf. A werewolf. A werewolf. Dude, you're a werewolf. Do you know that Jacob guy from Sunrise? Huh. Matt yelled, clearly still in shock. Well, everyone except Nate was still chilling. Dude, it's not sunrise, it's sunset. You know, the movie where that Edward guy sparkles like unicorn fart, Matt added. I sighed, face palming. Guys, it's twilight. And no, Robert Pattinson and Taylor Lautner are Homo sapiens. Oh yeah, twilight, same thing. Sunrise. Sunset. Twilight, Nate shrugged casually, glancing at Megan from the corner of his eye. So Megan? You're a werewolf too, he asked, his curiosity getting the better of him. No, I'm a female Anopheles mosquito, and unless you want to suffer from malaria, stay the hell away from me, Megan snapped. Oh, so do you have a mate? Nate squeaked out, looking unsure. We all watched, including the two babies, as the tension built. Megan huffed, slammed the magazine she was reading on the table, and stomped outside. Our gazes followed her until she was out of sight, and then the silence turned to Nate. We all stared at him in disbelief. Aaron's pacifier fell to the ground with a soft thud, breaking the silence. All eyes snapped to it, then to Aaron, who looked up at me with big, tear-filled eyes. No, please don't cry. Please, God, no. Aaron was a good baby, but once he started crying, I didn't want to even think about it. As soon as a tear fell down his cheek, Lukas was quick to shove the pacifier back into his mouth, soothing him instantly. I sent him a grateful look, and he wrapped his arms around both of us, the warmth of his embrace easing the tension in the room. I jumped when Megan suddenly slammed the door open again, stomping inside with purpose. She avoided everyone's gaze and grabbed Nate by the collar, dragging him outside. Well, my brother's about to get malaria. Chapter 18. Krestel the Cupid. No, Krestel. Bad Krestel. Please don't do it. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Fudge it. I am doing it. Am I really going to poke my nose into my brother's business? The answer is yes. As Lukas got busy with some pack duties with Ethan, he left me. But not before I made him promise to tell me about werewolves and Aaron fell asleep. So, what's a bored teenager got to do? Play Cupid. Of course. You are my mate. Nate gasped. I put a hand on my mouth to hide my gasp. Reno and I pressed our ears to the door, squishing our sides against it. Reno and I looked at each other with wide eyes. So does that mean you will be my girlfriend? I could imagine Nate clapping his hands in excitement. Reno and I snickered. No fool. I am rejecting you. Megan growled. I frowned. But why? Nate wailed. I could hear footsteps. Because you are ugly. Yeah, ugly. Footsteps were heard, and Reno and I were quick to plaster ourselves to the sides of the wall. The door opened with a bang, and Megan practically flew outside. Thank God she didn't notice us. Nate came out, a big pout on his face as he pointed a trembling finger in the direction where Megan had left. She rejected me and called my beautiful face ugly. Nate hung his head down and flew away. Reno and I looked at each other. I pointed in the direction where Megan had just left. I'll go talk to Megan. You handle Nate's heartbroken self. I found Megan sitting at the edge of a cliff, her feet dangling in the air. I slowly crept beside her and sat down. So, what's up? Megan looked at me and raised an eyebrow. You were listening to me and Nate, right? I smiled sheepishly and scratched my head. Sorry. By the way, my brother isn't that bad, you know. She hummed. That's the problem. He's nice. I clapped my hands. Oh, I get it. You're into bad boys. Megan looked at me weirdly. No. I mean, we're werewolves. We fight. I stared at her. Who said Nate didn't fight? Megan blinked. Whom did he fight? I mean, yesterday, a mosquito bit him, and he's like, the mosquito is my blood, I can't fight him. Then he just shrugged and started eating his cake. I thought about it and then shrugged. Nate is weird, but yes, he did fight. I can assure you. Whom? I sighed sadly. My first love. Carl. Carl? I nodded. Yup. I won him in a fair. He was the cutest tree. Can you imagine how brutally Nate fought him? Megan's eyes grew wide. How? He watered him again and again and again, until he drowned. Megan gasped. That's terrible. I wiped the single tear that escaped my eyes. Yes, it is. Carl was my first and last love. My cute little Trey. A thunderous growl broke the silence of the forest. Who the heck is Carl? LOL. Poor Carl. How many of you like trees? I surely love them. They are the cutest thing in the whole world. Besides Skittles. Yes, Skittles are cute, okay? Let's begin with pack talks. Nate, a 7-year-old, cute little Nate. Cress. Can I water Carl? Please? Krestel, a very toothless, fractured 5-year-old. Sure, you can. Nate brings a bucket full of water and pours it over a small, delicate plant. There, Kres Carl. Drink as much as you want, young man. Krestel looks horrified. No, Carl. Tries to get up but falls because of a fractured leg. And ladies and gentlemen, the last thing our dear Krestel saw was Carl drowning and Nate pouring another bucket of water over him. Chapter 19, Punishing Fetish. Megan and I jumped at hearing the thunderous growl. I could even see birds flying off the tree and cute little rabbits running away. My eyes trailed over Lukas. A very shirtless Lukas. He was heaving, eyes pitch black. He kept growling as he stalked toward me with large strides. 1 second, I'm sitting and talking about my cute little tree that Nate drowned, and the very next minute, I am thrown over a shoulder. For goodness sake, I am not a bloody potato sack. I kicked and punched Lukas. Hey, you flapdoodle. Put me down. Lukas slapped my butt. Keep that behavior going and I will punish you 30 times. I gasped and covered my mouth, both because of the shock and disgust. Huh, you can try, Wolfhead. I will kick your wolf butt down. I cleared my throat. But before that, could you please put me down? So, who is Carl? Lukas dumped me on the bed and hovered over me. I sighed sadly and stared off into the distance. He was my first love. He was so fresh. Every time I looked at him, I was reminded of why we are all able to live and breathe in oxygen. He was so cute, Dash. He pounced on me. Literally. He jumped on me, crushing me. Oomph. Lukas, what is wrong with you? I shrieked, trying to wriggle away. No, you're mine. Mine. He put me on lockdown. Both of his hands clutched my wrists, slamming them onto the top of my head. He buried his head in the crook of my neck, inhaling frantically. Tell me, darling, where is Carl right now? I can't wait to tear him apart piece by piece and then, wait, are you crying? I shook my head as tears gathered in my eyes and I thrashed in his arms, trying to get away from him. He pulled me up and placed me on his lap. Shoo. Baby, please don't cry. I am so sorry. Please don't cry. He rocked me back and forth in his arms. I punched his chest, nearly breaking my knuckles. Why do you all want to hurt Carl? I pushed him. It didn't move him, but my hands hurt. I ignored the embarrassing moment and continued. Why would you even think of doing that to him? He was a sweet little innocent green being. He was so... Wait, green being? Lukas looked confused. I glared at him. Of course he's green. And don't cut me. Which species exactly did Carl belong to? I glared at him again, resisting the urge to fling the lamp on the bedside table at him. He was a very cute little herbaceous plant. Now, if you will let me Condi. Plant? He was a plant. I give up. I gave up resisting my urge and reached for the lamp beside. Lukas widened his eyes and pulled me back. I narrowed my eyes at him. What now? I huffed, blowing a fringe. He laughed and buried his face in my neck again. His shoulders rumbled as he laughed. Carl is a plant. He sounded ecstatic. I nodded while frowning. Of course he is a plant. Now, will you tell me why you would want to hurt him? He shook his head and smiled at me. I am so sorry, darling. I would never want to hurt plants. I would love to meet him even. I planted my face on his chest. You can't do that. Why not? Confusion was evident in his voice. Because that dumb brother of mine drowned him. So now you won't reject me? Nate opened his arms and ran to Megan. We were all sitting next to a bonfire. Aaron slept in my arms, and I sat in Lukas' arms as we watched a show unfold before us. Should have brought popcorn. Megan rolled her eyes and slapped her hands. No, but I am sure as heck punishing you. Do all werewolves have a thing for punishing their mates? Nate frowned. Why would you do that? He pouted at her. She narrowed her eyes at him. Because you drowned poor little Carl. How could you? Nate looked horrified. Megan winked at me, and I grinned at her. Best sister-in-law ever. Chapter 20, Krestel the Cupid Part 2. No, Krestel. Please don't do it. No. Yes. No. Yes! Fudge it. I am doing it. Again. I pressed my ear to the door again. Earlier, while I was strolling around the resort, I caught Sam and that mysterious boy who carried Ava talking in hushed voices. So what do? I follow them. Duh. I pressed my ear further into the door, trying to hear them clearly. Reno couldn't accompany me because he had to attend a call. Looks like I am on my own. I cannot believe you did not tell me about Ava. A voice boomed. You rejected me. What was I supposed to do? Sam's voice screeched. Well, how about starting to tell me that you popped out our baby? Shut up, shut up, shut up. You good-for-nothing jackass. I am on my period, so stop irritating me. I know I am a horrible person. Oh man. Stomping voices were heard as a door slammed open and Sam rushed to get out. This time, I did not plaster myself to the wall. Instead, I followed Sam outside as she stomped her way to the forest. Am I seriously going to go to the forest again? After what happened last time? I looked down the forest pathway where Sam had just disappeared into. I huffed and followed her. I walked endlessly following the path where I saw Sam go. The thick canopy of the forest surrounded me as I walked, looking left, right, front, and occasionally back, but I stopped that when I tripped on my own legs. Silly, clumsy me. Suddenly, I heard hushed whispers somewhere in the woods. What's it with me and hearing all the whispering? I was quick to hide behind a tall tree when thudding footsteps were heard. Two figures emerged from the fog that had suddenly enveloped the forest. Where did the fog come from? A male and female dressed in pure black stepped out. I think I had seen the female somewhere. It was Cheryl, the caretaker of the babies. Are all things ready? The male strode forward and asked Cheryl. I pushed myself further into the tree as they approached closer. A squirrel tumbled forward and started chewing on my shoes. I looked horrified at the cute little squirrel. Why me? I ignored the squirrel, which was still chewing on my shoes, and looked back at Cheryl and the strange bald dude. She nodded. Yes, sir. All things are ready. We shall execute the plan on the day of the annual day. What plan? Krestel? What are you doing here? I jumped at the sudden voice. Looking behind, I saw Sam raising her eyebrows at me. I pointed out where the man and Cheryl were a while ago, but was shocked to see the place empty. There I saw someone dash. It would probably be some patrolling guards. Sam stated, and I nodded, still unsure. I looked down at my shoes to see the squirrel scurrying off. I need to buy new shoes now. Come on, let's get out of here before the alpha finds you roaming around the woods. Sam motioned me to follow her. I nodded and rushed after her, forgetting about the strange man and Cheryl. They must be talking about annual day preparations. Hey Sam, are you okay? I had noticed her bloodshot eyes. I kept a hand on her shoulder. You can tell me you know? Sharing problems makes you feel lighter. She hung her head down and continued walking. I followed her, noticing her shoulders slump in a dejected manner. She shook her head. I am horrible. I dashed. She stopped walking as tears threatened to well up in her eyes. I went near her. You are not horrible, Sam. You are an awesome person. I patted her back. I suck at comforting. She chuckled humorlessly. How can you say that? I left my own baby alone. Why? Just because I was scared. I was rejected by my mate. I was scared to get rejected out of the society too. So I left my own baby. Sam went to her knees and sobbed. I wasn't surprised to find out that Ava was Sam's baby. Ava was an exact replica of Sam. My heart broke watching her like this. Sam. You know what? Yes, it was horrible of you to leave your own baby. Again, I suck at comforting. But you know what is more horrible? Not amending the mistakes. Sam looked at me with a tear-streaked face. I went on my knees and hugged her. It's horrible if you continue repeating the same mistake. It's horrible if you leave your own child just because you're afraid of rejection again. I moved back and stood up, helping Sam get up. So, what are you gonna do? She smiled. I'm going to get my baby back and fix everything. Hey, Lukas. He still didn't look up from the laptop, typing furiously. Do you know Cheryl? He shut his laptop and turned to me, eyebrows scrunched up in confusion. Who is Cheryl? She is the C-. Wait. I know. Is she like your other pet tree? I glared at him. No, dumbass. She is the caretaker of the kids at the orphanage. He scratched his head in confusion. Oh, that's cool. But I don't remember her. I rolled my eyes and slumped on the bed. Lukas stood up from the couch he was sitting on and slumped beside me. Why are you asking? I went to the forest today. Again? Lukas pulled me against him. I pushed his hands away, yes. So as I was saying, I went to the forest today, Dash. Why would you do that? He cut me off again and got on top of me. His hands were searching for any injuries. I screeched and pushed him off. But did he budge? Of course not. Son of a rock. Lukas Kairomano, what do you think you are doing? And just like that, I forgot all about Cheryl and the mysterious man. Sigh. If only I knew what a drama it would brew up. Chapter 21. The Creepy Stare. Students, pay attention. Sorry, Mr. Franklin. I am broke. The whole group snickered at the random comment, and Mr. Franklin rolled his eyes. All the students are requested to hand the babies, You boy. Stop making noise and listen to me to the caretaker until the games are over. Mr. Franklin shrieked into the microphone, and we all winced. Man, why so grumpy? Ethan grumbled beside me. I know, right? I grumbled and put my palm on Aaron's ears. I don't want my baby to go deaf. He giggled and wiggled his tiny fingers. I am sorry, Meg. Nate whined at Megan. Apparently, Megan had my brother on a leash. Huh. Did you just call me Meg? Like Meg the shark? Don't talk to me for a whole damn week. Megan walked towards the game grounds with Nate following her like a lost puppy. When I felt a burning hot gaze on me, I looked around and found Lukas staring at me from over the stage. He was the student council president and hence had to stay beside Mr. Franklin to keep the students in check. I narrowed my eyes, mentally telling him to stop staring. Sam nudged me, stop checking out your mate, and let's go. I rolled my eyes. I was so not checking him out. I looked over at her and smiled when I saw Ava cuddling Sam. My eyes shifted behind her to see Sam's mate, Dylan, staring at her. I asked Lukas about rejection yesterday, and he had thrown a fit of rage along the lines of, "What did I do? And I won't let you reject me. And I will lock you up." He shut up after I threw a lamp at him and told him about Sam and Dylan. Rejection was like rejecting your mate, Sith. Apparently, Dylan had rejected Sam because she did not have a wolf. Like what the hell? Sam kissed Ava's head and held her protectively in her arms. It's clearly Dylan's loss. That guy. We all hurried over to Cheryl to hand the babies over to her. As soon as I stretched my hands to put Aaron in the crib, he wailed to come back into my arms. I pouted at him, and Sam put Ava beside him. Aaron's smile stretched to the max as soon as he saw Ava. I sighed. Young love. I looked up at Cheryl while she kept staring at Aaron. As soon as she saw me staring at Aaron, she cleared her throat and smiled at me. I gave her a tight smile and narrowed my eyes at her. Something was off. Am I being paranoid? I looked back again at Aaron and Ava as they started playing with toys. I kissed their foreheads. Ta-ta, baby, I will come back immediately after the games are over. I shouldn't have left Aaron with her. Big mistake. Chapter 22. The Kidnapping. What do you mean kidnapped? Mr. Franklin gestured towards the empty crib. Kidnapped is the word used when a person gets taken away without their will, often by force or threat, and held against their desire for ransom or other purposes. I know what kidnapping is. Mr. Franklin threw up his hands in the air. The security guard scratched his head. Cheryl, I spoke out, looking at the security guard with narrowed eyes. He squirmed under my gaze, and I stalked over to him. Where is Aaron? He looked scared and guilty. Busted. I don't know. I punched him, and he fell to the ground with a loud groan. I rolled up my sleeves, ready to force the information out of him, until Lukas pulled me back. I turned to him, let me go. He sighed, you will hurt your hands, Kres. I narrowed my eyes at him, daring him to stop me again. He gulped, how about this? I will extract information out of him while you go with Sam and Megan. Yeah. I nodded at him, knowing he wouldn't let me handle the task of getting the information myself. Fun killer. I went where Sam and Megan were standing, but not before kicking the security guard. I swear, if anything happens to my baby, I will break your hand and slap you with it. So you saw Cheryl and a man in the forest? Ethan asked. I nodded. They were talking about some plan. We were all sitting in the resort lounge room waiting for Lukas to come with the information on who kidnapped Aaron. I swear, if he doesn't get here in the next 5 minutes, I will personally go there. Did you see the guy's face? I shook my head. It was foggy, but I'm sure he was bald. Reno nodded, a bald guy. Nate continued, always the suspicious ones. Megan hit his head. The door burst open and Lukas stalked inside. We all immediately stood up and surrounded him, firing questions at him. Did you find anything? Yes. Did you know there was a guy who was bald? Our Krestel here saw Cheryl and the bald guy in the forest. About that. Gosh. That bald guy is the kidnapper. Shut up. We all froze, looking at Lukas, who seemed ready to explode. Not a word. We all nodded frantically. He rubbed his face with his giant palm. It was Antonio. Megan, Sam, and Ethan gasped, while Reno, Nate, and I stood there clueless. I don't like being clueless. Who is Antonio? Lukas' deep browns met mine. My uncle. This time, Reno, Nate, and I did the gasping. Was he bald? Nate asked. Lukas nodded, yeah. How did you know that? I raised my hand. Remember yesterday I told you about me going into the forest? He nodded. So yeah, I kinda saw Cheryl and him talking about a plan. Lukas punched his fist into the wall, dang it. How did he get inside my territory? Cheryl was helping him all along. That beach. Did you find the location where they took Aaron? He nodded. They took him to an island. A private island. Damn. How would we get there then? I own an island nearby. We could execute our rescue mission over there. Ethan? Get the yacht ready. Ethan nodded and scurried off. I looked at Lukas. Why would Antonio, your uncle, kidnap Aaron? Reno and Nate nodded in agreement to my question while Megan and Sam stood there with angry faces. He sighed. I will tell everything once we get on the yacht. We have limited time. Let's go. And beat the crap out of Antonio. I couldn't agree more. No one kidnaps my baby. Bald guy, I am a villain. Laughing evilly. Aaron, give me milk. Bald guy, I said I am the villain. Aaron, sucking his thumb. So? Bald guy, why would I give you the milk? I am a villain. Aaron, stops sucking his thumb and scoffs at him. Dear reader, please vote and comment, and I will crack the villain's bald head. Author, gosh. I should have hired a villain with hair. This chapter contained the word bald so much. No offense to bald people, though. You guys are fantastic. Please vote and comment, dearies. Chapter 23, Krestel the Spy. Whoa, the island was fantastic. There were trees. So many trees. I love trees. I grinned at Lukas, who was the last one to get off the yacht. He noticed my grin and came over to me, smiling. What's up with my little mate? He bent down to my level. I just can't wait to beat the crap out of that guy. Lukas chuckled darkly, and I shivered. Oh, you have no idea, mate. I've been itching to get back at him for so long. I nervously chuckled at his serious expression. What if Antonio gets to know we are here? I couldn't help but ask. Lukas wrapped his arms around me. He won't. The base is located deep inside the woods. We could spy on him, but he won't be able to see us. I nodded my head and looked at the neighboring island. I wonder what Aaron was doing. Did he eat? Was he crying? Lukas hugged me. Don't worry, we will save our baby. Group hug. Someone shouted, and several bodies crashed into us. I groaned as we all fell down. Seriously, Sam? She shrugged. I love group hugs. We all lay on the ground, facing the sky. So, what's the plan? Nate asked. First, let's get to the base. We shouldn't be out here. Ethan pointed out. Lead the way. Okay, so Nate, you do the task of preparing food. Sam, hack their security base. Krestel. Lukas threw a pair of binoculars at me. Spy on them with this. Megan, go with Krestel, because she has direction skills on a negative scale. All of them snickered while I threw a banana peel at him. The banana peel, of course, did not hit him. My direction skills were so not on a negative scale. They ignored me and continued. I huffed and crossed my arms in front of me defensively. Ethan, we need to find a way to get to the ball held on that island. Wait. A ball? Lukas nodded solemnly. He's holding a mafia ball to be exact. He's planning that so he can introduce Aaron as his heir. What? The actual fudge. That stupid guy. Exactly. We need to get a move on. The ball is tonight. Wait. Why am I given the task of cooking, while you guys get the awesome tasks? How much more? I groaned. Megan trudged forward, not breaking a sweat, while I was sweating like a pig. Just a little more, Kres. There's a clearing ahead from where we can spy on them. I nodded enthusiastically when I saw the clearing. I took out my binoculars. Whoa. I can see everything. What do you mean by everything? I giggled. I just saw Aaron mess with that guy. That's my son. Let me see. I handed the binoculars to her. Oh my gosh. He even kicked him with his feet. We both burst out laughing. Well, now that we know Aaron is awesome even there, we need to find some way to get there. I took the binoculars from her. No one can match my spying skills. I could see the security roaming around that island, but what caught my eye was the back region of the island. Hey, Megan. Why aren't there security guards at the opposite coast of the island? I handed her the binoculars for her to see. I think they weren't expecting anyone to infiltrate the island. We both grinned at each other. Then let's do the honors of doing the unexpected. Yeah, let's crash a mafia ball. How many of you think the mafia exists in the real world? How many of you believe that the supernatural exists? Chapter 24, The Mafia Ball. I see, we could get onto the island through the back coast. Nate nodded. What if they've set up traps over there? I stuffed my face with the strawberry cobbler. Well, that's where Sam comes into play. Sam clapped her hands. I hacked the system. They did have the traps set up over there. But not anymore. I disabled all of them. That's cool, dude. Can you teach me hacking too? Sam grinned at me. Done. Everyone ready to crash a mafia ball? Yeah. We all cheered. Can anyone remind us that we are a group of teenagers planning to crash a mafia event? Is that a throne? Ethan pointed out. Is that a gun? Sam gasped. Guys, we need to stay inconspicuous. Lukas hissed out. Food. Nate screamed and ran over to the buffet. We all watched wide-eyed as he ran over there. Megan was quick to catch him by the collar and drag him back to the corner of the ballroom where we all were hidden. I thought they understood the meaning of inconspicuous. Lukas hissed from beside me. Thank goodness it was a masked ball. Where is Aaron and Baldy, the mafia? Just as we were scanning the ballroom for a sign of them, an announcement was made. My dear mafia lords and ladies, please welcome the mafia king and his heir. The doors at the top of the staircase opened, and Antonio stepped out with Aaron in his arms. The people around us cheered for him. Antonio walked down the staircase, his eyes scanning the ballroom. He reached his throne and sat down. My breath hitched when his eyes landed on our group. See, I told you standing in the corner is suspicious. Ethan hissed. Yeah, we could have been stuffing our face with that delicious buffet. That's what normal people do. Nate joined Ethan. Guys, shut up and scatter. We are drawing too much attention. Lukas caught my hand and led me away. While Megan and Nate went to the buffet, Ethan and Sam went to the dance floor. What's the plan now? I asked Lukas as we randomly walked. First, we need Antonio to leave Aaron alone. After he's safely with us, we can take Antonio down. Hey, you dumb mafia member. That is my chocolate fudge you are touching. Oh no. My eyes flew to the buffet table where Nate was holding chocolate fudge in his arms, glaring at a tattooed guy. Oh. Infiltrators, king. There are infiltrators on the island. Someone screamed, and Antonio's eyes snapped to our group. Megan snatched the chocolate fudge and threw it at the tattooed guy. Nate, run. Both of them ran to where Lukas and I were standing. We need to distract them. Cause chaos so that I can take Aaron from Antonio. Lukas hissed at me. Oh well, who's better at causing chaos than me? Chapter 25. Sean is 23, hence available for all the ladies. The mafia members surrounded us. They took out guns, and suddenly, the hall turned into a war zone. Literally. Lukas, Megan, and Ethan transformed into wolves and began attacking men armed with guns. Shit. Distraction. I need to distract them. My eyes fell on the mic, which was placed on the stage. I looked around me to see mafia members closing in on us. I stealthily ran to the stage. As stealthily as an assassin. Gosh, can I be an assassin without killing people? No, you cannot, Kres. That's dumb. Stupid inner voice. Where have you been? Hibernating. Plus, I only emerge when your flat ass is in trouble. It's the middle of summer, stupid, and I do not have a flat ass. You stupid. Shit. Duck. Bullet. I managed to duck right on time as the bullet whizzed by me. I need to focus. I jumped up on the stage and hovered over the microphone, blurting out the first thing that came to my mind. Everyone. Attention. Shawn Mendes. Yes, that angel is present among us. I pointed in a random direction. My voice floated through the hall. Pin dropped silence. Everyone froze. Guns hovered in the air. The three wolves looked at me shell-shocked. And then, chaos. The teenage mafia girls. Yes, there were teenage mafia girls. I ran over to the direction I had pointed out, screaming, Shawn freakin' Mendes is here. Oh my mafia ass. Why can't I see him? I think he's in disguise. Should we blackmail him into joining the mafia? Duh. Is that even a question? While the older mafia ladies and men stared at me, I cleared my throat awkwardly. At least the bullets weren't firing anymore. While I distracted them, I secretly nodded at Sam, indicating that she take Aaron, who was drooling on the throne. Antonio had left him alone and was now among the crowd, dumbass. Shawn is 23, you know? Hence he is available for all the ladies. Woohoo! And then, the elder ladies sprang into action. They clutched their skirts and ran in the direction where their daughters were still crowded, searching for Shawn Mendes. Huh. As if I would tell them if Shawn was really here. He's mine. Don't tell that to Lukas, but I like how Shawn has his head on his shoulder. A grandma, all wrinkly and old, walking with the help of a cane, came wobbling near me. Dearie, can you tell me the direction of Shawn, that freakin' hot dude again? I seem to have. She put a finger in her ear and shook it vigorously. A hearing problem. I looked at her wide-eyed and then pointed a shocked finger in the direction of the crowd. I can't believe even grandmas are in the mafia. I took my eyes away from her as she wobbled her way over to the crowd. My eyes shifted to all the mafia men. They narrowed their eyes at me. I laughed nervously at them. Lady Gaga? Yeah, Lady Gaga. She's with him. Go. Go. The men smiled brightly, threw their guns in a random direction, and ran towards the crowd. Gosh. I didn't know mafias were this dumb. Sam had Aaron in her arms successfully. They all smiled brightly at me. I grinned back. Lukas came to me in his human form, and yes, he was clothed. He hugged me tightly. You are the awesomest mate in the whole wide world. I laughed and flipped my hair, I know. And then, a gunshot rang out. Chapter 26, Jailmates. I cannot believe they put us in jail too. Ugh. At least your place doesn't smell. Will anyone come to bail us out? Yeah, I think Mr. Franklin is on his way to bail us out. I slumped against the cold jail metal bars. At least I can cross off going to jail from my bucket list. Lukas looked at me weirdly. He was locked up in the adjacent jail room. Why would you have that on your bucket list? Before I could reply, Nate cut in. She has the weirdest things on her bucket list, dude. But enough about that. Megan. My love, I need you. Nate wailed and stretched his arms to reach the jail room in which Megan was locked. She rolled her eyes and tossed the carrot the guards had given us at him. Shut up. Let me sleep. Sam and Ethan were already snoring in their own jail cots. Nate huffed and retreated to a silent corner, wondering how we all ended up here. Reverse 5 hours before. Hands up. This is the CIA. We all froze and turned around to see uniformed officers filling the hall. I smiled brightly at Lukas. Yay. Mafia's going to jail now. I would still feel bad for the old lady, though. Lukas laughed nervously. I have a feeling they won't be the only ones thrown into jail. I frowned and looked at the CIA agents coming towards us with handcuffs. They shook their heads at us. You teenagers. It's bad to be in the mafia. I know you want that thrill and all, but you know what? A day or two in jail will straighten you all up. And before any of us could protest, the officer handcuffed us and threw us in jail. Present time. Why didn't you kids tell us you were saving this baby at the Mafia Ball? An older officer asked as they let us out of the stinking lockup. I gave a stink eye to the officer who had handcuffed us and then back to the elder officer. Some of your officials didn't bother to hear us out and thought we were joining the mafia for the thrill of it. I threw a nasty glare at the officer again, who had accused us. He coughed awkwardly and looked away. The elderly officer sighed, "We are so sorry, kids. But I have to say this, it was very brave of you to infiltrate the gang and save the baby." Ethan yawned and stretched. "If you truly feel sorry, then please clean up the lockups. It stinks." The officer blushed. "Yes, of course we will clean up the place. You kids are free to go." They escorted us out, where Mr. Franklin was waiting for us. Lukas gestured at him. "You all get into the car and go to the resort." He darkly eyed the police station. "I have some work to finish." He hugged me and placed a kiss on Sleepy Aaron's forehead, then stalked to the police station before I could stop him. I planned to go with him, but Ethan stopped me. He shook his head. "It's not a good idea after what happened with the Alpha, Kres. We should go to the resort." I looked at him. He went there for Antonio, didn't he? Ethan darkly smiled. "Antonio deserves everything the Alpha will put him through." "Kres." "Ethan. What are you doing? Let's go. Or else we'll leave without you." "I'm hungry," Nate screamed from the car window. Chapter 27. Krestel the Drunk. It's party timey woohoo. I giggled and tripped on a banana peel, but someone caught me and saved me from falling. "I think you've had a little too much of alcohol, Kres. Let's get you to your room," a voice sighed beside me. I glared at the blurred figure holding me and jabbed a finger at him. "Who are you to say that I drank too much? Wait. You're Ethan. A werewolf." I giggled again and grabbed the stranger who passed us by the collar. "You. Do you see him?" I pointed at Ethan. The stranger nodded unsurely. I giggled and slapped his arm. "He is a werewolf. Do you hear me? Werewolf. Rawr." I burst out laughing, slapping my knees in the process. I saw another unicorn flying in the sky and rushed after it. "Unicorn. Unicorn. Oh, unicorn. Wait for me." I slipped on a chocolate wrapper this time, but someone caught me from face planting. Again. My savior. I threw my arms around him or her. "Where were you when I tripped on my shoelaces last year, huh? Where were you?" I kicked my savior in the shin and skipped away, whistling. But then I remembered I don't know how to whistle. Ha 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 ha. I am so silly. On the way while running, I slammed my head on a pole, making a DUNNGGGGGGGGGG sound. And then on a tree, making a HDJRJBDJDBHD sound. I don't know what sound slamming into a tree makes. If you guys know it, then please feel free to comment. Insert laughing emoji here. And then I stepped on a dog's tail. It made a grrrr voice at me. But I picked up a stick and threw it away, and the dog ran to catch it. But now, I feel like crying. I want to cry. I rushed to the swimming pool because I don't remember what crying is. But I know it's something related to water. Gosh, I am so smart. Aha, swimmy pooly. Here I come. I sang and skipped to the swimming pool. But then I remembered I don't know how to swim. Aw man. So, I walked up to the swimming pool and stood there in attention. Why am I standing at attention? When does one stand at attention? National anthem. But I think I forgot the national anthem. So I sang the next thing that came to my mind. Ladies all across the world, listen up, we are looking for recruits. Damn. I forgot the following lines. Meh. La 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 grrrr. Gub. Krestel? What exactly are you doing? A very familiar voice asked me. I turned to find it was my soulmate. I rushed towards Lukas and pulled him in front of the swimming pool. Unicorns. I am fishing out doppels. I mean, unicorning out on unicorns. So help me. But did he help me? Nah. He carried me away from my unicorn session. He defied me. But I will let it go because I was sleepy. But then I forgot what sleeping was. But that's okay, because the world around me went dark as aliens invaded the earth. My dream is finally coming true. Aliens invaded the Earth. And the last thing I heard was, who on earth gave alcohol to my mate while I wasn't around? Epilogue. Promise rings. Is this how it feels to be hungover? Oh gosh. It feels like Hulk smashing my head repeatedly. I shifted on the comfy bed and touched my forehead. Why are there painful bumps on my head? A glass of water appeared in front of me. I looked up to see Lukas standing beside the bed with a glass of water and some pills, expressionless. I gave him a small smile, more like a grimace, and took the Advil, swallowing it with water. What happened to me? Lukas took an ice pack from the mini fridge and pressed it on my forehead, making me wince. You drink. I widened my eyes at him. Please tell me I didn't do anything stupid. He gave me a sarcastic smile. Oh no. You just smashed your head into a pole and then a tree. Explains the pain. Then you stepped on a dog's tail and passed out on me. I stared blankly at the wall. Oh. And then I passed out again. 10 hours later. Yo Kres. How was your unicorning out session? Ethan snickered at me. I glared at him. The whole school was present on the resort grounds in the evening, ready to go home. Oh goodness, the whole school is talking about it. Sam gave me a sympathetic pat on the shoulder. I looked around me, and sure enough, everyone was staring. Good sis, you're famous. Nate screamed, earning a smack from Megan. I let out a groan and buried my head in Lukas's chest, making Aaron squirm in my arms. I'm never drinking again. He chuckled, but hugged me tightly. Don't worry, mate. I'm keeping you far, far away from alcohol. Students, you boy at the back. Stop picking your nose so, as I was saying, everyone get into the bus, or your cars, whatever, I don't care. But I want you all present at school by 9 p.m. Mr. Franklin announced on the mic. Who wants to ride my car may follow me. Ethan's voice faded as he jumped into his car. Sam rolled her eyes and followed him with Ava. Nate pouted at Megan. You coming with me, right? She rolled her eyes, but went with him, taking Aaron with her. I looked at her, confused, and she winked at me. I looked back at Lukas. Let's go. He grinned at me. Not so fast, mate. He took my hands in his and led me into the woods. Hey, I'm not walking all the way to school. Where are your fancy cars? Lukas swept us off our feet, successfully hushing me. We're not walking all the way to the school, Kres. I have a surprise for you. I blinked. Surprise? He grinned at me. Yup. Whoa. This is awesome. Lukas put me down, and I looked around the decorated place in awe. Fairy lights hung on the trees, and a table for two was set up in the middle. It was beautiful. I turned around to face Lukas and found him sitting on his knees with a velvet box containing rings. Oh, my God. I'm only 16. He must have guessed the expression on my face because he let out a heartwarming laugh. Don't worry, they're promise rings. I sighed in relief. He continued, Krestel Winters, you are the most amazing girl I've ever met in my 18 years of life. And although you laugh like a dying hyena, eat like a pig, and sneeze like a puppy, I love you with all my heart. He took a deep breath before continuing. So will you make me the luckiest man alive and agree to be my girlfriend so we can take down many more mafia with your amazing chaos-causing skills? I laughed with him. Yes, Lukas Romano, I'll be your girlfriend, and together, we'll tackle many mafia gangs. He put the ring on my finger. I love you. I love you too. The end.